We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
California. I am Eric Hodge with Alex Richmond on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features two teams battling for playoff position as the 8-1 Salesian Pride visit the host 7-2 Valley Christian Vikings. And first and foremost, Alex Richmond, hey, thanks for joining me up here in the booth. Let's talk about this Valley Christian team coming into this game. 7-2 have yet to ever beat the Pride in their existence. Keep in mind, Valley Christian's been around playing this team for 4 years, or 0-4 against Salesian. So what would a win mean for Valley Christian tonight, Alex?
A win for Valley Christian would be huge. Although they don't have their quarterback tonight, Teeman Taylor III, who's out with a torn ligament in his left thumb. A win would be huge now. They're sitting at third right now in the NCS Division IV standings, and if they can overcome the loss of Taylor tonight, but I think what they're really going to do tonight is they're just going to stick to the script, and they run the ball so well. They average over 300 yards on the ground, just over 35 through the air. So I think we're going to see a steady run game tonight, try to establish that run and kind of tire out Salesian. Yeah, I like how you mentioned the run, because this team is run heavy. They do not fret away from running down your throat. As for Salesian, obviously 8-1, perfect season last year. They come into this game trying to end on a good note. In fact, when we were talking to head coach Chad Nightingale, he said, hey, we want this game really bad. What was he telling us down on the field? Yeah, well, we talked to him. We asked him actually about, if he coaches differently, what this means for his team with the playoff implications. He says, they try not to coach differently. They keep everything the same, even though there are playoff implications, Eric. And also, we were talking to him about that loss to El Cerrito, and he said after that they kind of changed their tone. They generated a different tempo, and also in this game, they're going to play. They coach a little bit differently. Going back to that, they coach with a more conducive tempo that will serve them better in the playoffs. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that loss to El Cerrito for Salesian, because that, in fact, was their only loss in the Tri-County Rock Football League. So take a quick look at the standings in the Tri-Valley Rock League. El Cerrito, perfect 5-0 in league play, as Salesian is 4-1, 8-1 overall. Then you get a look at Valley Christian there in third at 3-2 in league play and 7-2 overall. And then St. Mary's and Pinole Valley also round out the crowd there. So obviously, if you want a good game, you want a great game at the end of the season, hey, you're looking at it, right? Two teams here. One's 8-1, one's 7-2. Both chomping at the bit. The weather's getting a little bit cooler. Everyone's getting fired up for playoffs. So with that said, that is the end of our pregame show. Stick around, because Friday Night Football begins next on your destination for high school sports. You're watching PlayOnSports.com.
And welcome back to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Coming to you live from Chabot College in beautiful Hayward, California. I am Eric Hodge, joined with Alex Richmond. And Alex, we mentioned in our pregame show that this is what it's all about. Two powerhouse teams. Of course, the Pride coming into this game 8-1 as Valley Christian enters the night at 7-2. Both teams playing for playoff implications. And let's talk about streaks, because I'm big into statistics and everything. We talked earlier about streaks with Valley Christian and how they have yet to beat the Pride in their existence, losing 4 straight games to the Pride. As for the Pride, they have won 22 straight games. You love to have that kind of momentum, especially the last game of the season, I would assume, right, Alex?
Definitely, no doubt about that, Eric. And and tonight coming in with that winning streak with playoff implications on the line, I think they really just want to get this game done and get to the playoffs.
Yeah, without question. Playoffs is a completely different picture than the regular season. Nonetheless, you want to keep momentum, and I'm sure if you're Valley Christian, you're chomping at the bit to finally pick up a win against the Pride. All right, here we go. Kickoff. Hope you guys are ready at home. And that is a squib kick off the leg of the Pride's kicker there, and the ball is bouncing around and eventually picked up in the back there by big number 39 for Valley Christian. That is a look at tailback Howard Wickle, and here is a name we will talk about quite a bit tonight, Alex. Wickle, a team leader on this team. What can you tell me about this kid?
Yeah, kid going to play offense and defense, listed at 5'6", 170 pounds, and he's carried the rock a lot this year. Their leading rusher for a team that rushes over 300 yards a game. He's got 124 carries on the season to go along with 19 touchdowns for Valley Christian.
Yeah, and the average of his carries is about 10.5 yards every time he carries the ball. So get used to the huge dose of Howard Wickle tonight. Speaking of which, I believe that was Wickle with the first carry of the ballgame as he picks up a yard. That's going to bring up second and about 8 here for Valley Christian. So we said earlier that this team loves to run the ball, and we see it there on the first play of the ballgame. Yeah,
they do, Eric. They've only thrown 45 times this year, a total of 45, and yards per game through the air, just over 35, like we mentioned in the pregame. So we're going to see Wickle a lot tonight.
And that is a look at quarterback Vince Volpati in the I-form set, as he hands back off to Wickle, and Wickle cuts it outside. It's got a little daylight, but is dragged down there after a pickup of about 5 yards. It's going to be close to a first down for Valley Christian. So, hey, they're not shying away from using Wickle and using Wickle to pick up a few yards.
No, and Coach Nightingale, talking about Wickle pregame, said he's a back that just seems, to stay on his feet all the time. He doesn't go down, and we're seeing that here early on with a nice run. Third manageable for the Vikings. Yeah, you mentioned manageable. It's going to be about 3rd and 1. Volpati with the I-form set, 2 backs in the backfield, and this goes to the fullback, and it looks like Valley Christian will, in fact, pick up the first down with that nice little run there. So you want to see some bruising. Get ready for Valley Christian to run it down your throat here. The Vikings not afraid to run through those tackles. Yeah, and we see Volpati at quarterback, the junior, taking over for another junior, Taylor, who tore a ligament in his left thumb. And just as Taylor was kind of getting comfortable with the offense, Coach Nightingale said, but they're going to have to go with 17 tonight. And Volpati back in the I-form formation. And again, another look to their tailback. I believe that is Howard Wickle again. Rather, that was A.J. Harris for the Vikings, picking up a couple yards. So we've seen 4 plays here from the Vikings, and, I didn't have to look into my magic ball to kind of predict the fact that this team was going to run the ball a lot tonight. 4 straight plays and 4 straight runs for Valley Christian. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Vikings from about the 24-yard line. And Volpati with the handoff again, this time to Wickle. Wickle cuts it outside. He's got a little daylight to the outside, and there he goes. Down the sideline, and he is off to the races, and there goes Wickle all the way down to the sideline, and see ya! Wickle in for the first score of the ball game. That's going to make it 6-0 with 9 minutes and 34 seconds left in the first quarter. And we talked about Wickle getting the rock. There he got it, and scored. Yeah, 20th score of the season, running to the short side the Vikings did on that play, and A.J. Harris with a nice seal block. He got to the second level, got his linebacker blocked in there to the inside, and we saw him able to spring Wickle for that touchdown.
And I think it's key that you brought up the fact that Harris, the big fullback, had that nice little block to free up Wickle on the outside. But once Wickle got to the outside, you saw the speed there from the young man. So Wickle adding to the stat total on the season, 20 touchdowns. And we mentioned before, this kid averages about 10.5 yards per carry. That might boost him up to about 11 on the season. All right, Valley Christian setting up here for the extra point. Taking an early 6-0 lead here in Hayward, California, at Chabot College. And the kicker for Valley Christian is Sam Marco, only a sophomore. So he is getting some PT here for his squad as we have our first flag of the ballgame.
Yeah, another thing I noticed about A.J. Harris, the fullback, looking at the stats, is it's going to be it's actually on the defense. They called false start.
Yeah, it was offsides or encroachment by the defense, so that is going to maybe change the play here as the Valley Christian looks to possibly go for 2 as opposed to that 1 extra point. So if you got momentum, hey, might as well go for it here. And the way they like to run the ball, I'm sure a yard is definitely in their game plan, as they do, in fact, set up with 3 backs in the backfield here. The body hands off, and that's a look at Wickle, but we do have a flag on the play again. So, yeah, it looks like Valley Christian is definitely trying to take advantage of this great field position on the extra point.
Yeah, just going back to Harris real quick, I noticed looking at the stats, he's got 61 carries on the year, and as a fullback, that is huge. You got 2 guys back there that really the defense has to account for both of them, 2 dynamic players in the backfield for the Vikings.
Yeah, without question, if you have that 2-headed monster in the backfield, definitely something that you should rely on, and Valley Christian has found the formula there in the backfield with their 2 monster tailbacks. All right, so that penalty was actually against the Vikings. That's going to draw them back another 5 yards, so they still are staying out there with their offensive unit, this Vopati. And, well, there we go, another flag. I know early on the season we see a lot of flags, pregame jitters. Maybe it's the last game of the regular season, a lot of playoff implications. Maybe the kids are a little nervous tonight.
Yeah, not quite sure. I didn't see what they called there, but could be a little bit of jitters. I mean, you don't expect 3 flags in a row on a PAT here, Eric, but we'll have to see what the Vikings decide here.
No, definitely a rarity, and that extra point has now just turned into a 28-yard field goal attempt, although they are keeping the offensive unit out again. So Valley Christian with a long extra point attempt here as they have it from about the 11-yard line. Vince Volpati, the starting quarterback, has got 3 backs in the backfield again. We got to look at the option play as it goes out to Wickle again. Wickle nowhere to go, and there's Salesian's defense. And you see about 5, 6 white and black jerseys. So give credits to Salesian's defense for coming up big on that extra point. And I always say it, extra points so big in high school football. So that's going to make it 6-0 here, with about 9 minutes and 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter. So if you're Salesian, how do you kind of rebut? You never want to go down 6-0 right away in the ballgame.
No, that was a great first drive, a fantastic run there. We saw the speed of Wickle take it down the near sideline, but, you don't want to get discouraged if you're Salesian. Just stick to your game plan you had coming into this game, and that's really all you can do. I mean, playoff implications on the line. These coaches have coached the same. Coach Nightingale said that, nothing – hasn't changed anything, not trying to put anything into the minds of these players. So if they continue to just execute the game plan that they came in with tonight, I think they'll be fine.
And the thing about Howard Wickle is that he's not just making noise here in the East Bay. He's making noise all over the North section. He is 10th in the North section in rushing with entering the night 1,274 yards. Obviously, he has surpassed the 1,300-yard barrier for the season, so great achievement for Wickle. All right, here's the kickoff from Valley Christian. 2 men back to return for Salesian, and that is a look at return man. I believe that is Tyrone Morgan for Salesian as he picks up a good chunk of yardage, giving the Pride the ball at about the 32-yard line. So, like we mentioned, if you're Salesian, we were talking to head coach Chad Nightingale before the ball game. He said, hey, we can't lose our confidence. They know they're 8-1, but here's a team, Valley Christian, who has never beat them in their existence. So you've got to be a little wary about that.
Yeah, you definitely do, Eric. And, for them to have success tonight, I think D'Angelo Hernandez, the junior running back, has to have a big night on the ground. And also, who we just saw there, number 10, Tyrone Morgan, their leading receiver with 6 touchdowns.
That's right, and Tyrone, only a junior, Alex. So the best is yet to come, probably safe to say, for the young junior from Richmond, California. And that's a look at the quarterback, Zach Boyett. Head coach Chad Nightingale had only high praises to talk about this kid. And there's the ball to the outside. His intended receiver was Jaween Harrison. Harrison can't make the grab as Zach Boyett tosses a little bit over his head. So, like we mentioned before, maybe a little jitters early in this ball game.
Yeah, it didn't look like he thought that Harrison was going to go a complete 5 yards. Looked like it was supposed to be maybe a shorter route there, and just couldn't get it out to Harrison.
All right, that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Pride from the 33-yard line with 9 minutes and 23 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Boyett with a handoff, and that is a look at tailback D'Angelo Hernandez, the junior, picking up a good chunk of yardage as he gets stumbled up there at about the 38-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5, for the Pride. So I know it's early in this ballgame, but talk about a big third down possession for Salesian.
Yeah, definitely a big third down possession. That was a nice run there by Hernandez. He got hit about 2 yards past line of scrimmage, but was able to carry a few defenders out to the 37-yard line there.
All right, Boyett's behind his center, one back in the backfield. 3 wideouts, 1 man in motion as he comes across the field, and the handoff this time goes to the other tailback for Salesian, and that is a look at Michael Page. Now, Page picks up a couple yards, would be well short of the first down. That'll bring up 4th and 2 from the 41-yard line.
Yeah, and Page led the team in rushing the first 5 games, then went down to injury, and that's when they turned to Hernandez, who has led the team these last 4 games. So if they can both get going tonight, that would be huge for the Pride.
Yeah, and when we were talking to head coach Chad Nightingale before the game, he said, hey, Paige, he got hurt. That kind of bothered us, but this is actually his first game back, and that was probably his first carry in about a month, so he was happy to get that carry. All right, it's 4th and 2 here for the Pride, and they go back to Page, and Page's got some daylight, and there he goes, 1 block across the field, and he is all alone, and goodbye. Page in for the score just like that. It is 6-6 here in Chabot College in Hayward, California, and boy, oh boy, you want some action? We're about 4.5 minutes in this ballgame, and we've got 2 scores. So, hey, Page's 2nd carry back from injury, and not too shabby.
Not at all, Eric, and that was a great designed play there as Page took it to the house, and kind of a counter play there, a counter trap from Salesian to make it 7-6, and we'll see if they can tie it up here with the PAT.
Yeah, this point after will give, if they make it, will give Salesian the early lead, 7-6, since Valley Christian.
6, yeah.
And there is a flag again on the play. And you don't see this too often in any kind of football game, but we've seen 4 flags on extra points here within the first 4 minutes of this ball game. So, I'm sure both head coaches not too happy about that. So that'll back up Salesian to the 9-yard line for this extra point. And the kicker for Salesian is Diego Stern. His attempt from 27 yards out is up and through the uprights, and that gives Salesian the 7-6 lead here with 7 minutes and 47 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Well, we had a feeling going down to the field before the game, Alex, that we were going to catch a good ball game with both these teams as powerhouses in their league. So far, I'm pretty pleased. How about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Both teams able to establish a run, both with huge plays for their first scores. And coming into the game, we knew for Valley Christian, we knew that was kind of their MO to keep the ball on the ground, only throwing 45 times on the season. And same with Salesian. They got 2 backs. Page just coming back from injury. 2 guys that can do it well on the ground. And Page showed his speed right there. His first touchdown coming back from injury.
Yeah, Page has got to be one happy kid down in that sideline right now. His 2nd carry back from injury was a huge touchdown to give his team a 7-6 lead. All right, 2 men to return here for Salesian as, Valley Christian as Salesian's kicker, Diego Stern, with a little squib kick, and it bounces off one Valley Christian player, and they eventually fall on the ball. That is a look at A.J. Harris, who also plays fullback, falls on the ball at about the 11-yard line here for Valley Christian. So, Alex, if you're Valley Christian, you score early in this ballgame, and now somehow you trail within the next few minutes. How do you bounce back from what looks to be an offensive explosion from both teams?
Yeah, I mean, not much to worry about here if you're Valley Christian. You got what was that, 3 penalties, Eric, they had there? So they didn't make that extra point. Here you just stick with the run game. You stick with what you know best.
And there are 2 men in the backfield for Valley Christian as quarterback Vince Vilpati takes the rock and hands it off. And there's a look at the cornerback for Salesian High School. That is Austin Ambien with the stop. So just a gain of 3 yards. And when talking to head coach Chad Nightingale before the game, he said his defense has to come up big, especially stopping, Wickle for Valley Christian. And you got to love to see containing him to just 2 yards.
Exactly. We asked him, how do you stop Wickle? He said, you can't. You have to contain him. And that's what they did right there. And they'll be looking to do that on most of the offensive plays tonight.
Vilpati this time again with the handoff again to Wickle. Wickle cuts across backfield, and there he goes again. Cutting again. And, we've got a flag on the play, but Wickle is going to pick up some good chunks of yards. And, he breaks another tackle, skips down the sideline, cuts it back across field, and is finally dragged down at the 25-yard line. But we do have a flag way back at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's in the vicinity of holding. But what great vision by Wickle there to cut it back to the far side, and it is going to come back.
Yeah, so definitely a tough penalty there for Valley Christian as that huge gain will be negated, and that'll drop Valley Christian back to about 2nd and 15 now.
We'll see. It might be less than that. We'll see where the holding occurred. It looked like it occurred close to the first down marker, Eric, so we'll have to see where they'll mark it off from where the holding occurred.
That's going to bring up about 2nd and 13 here for Valley Christian. I got a chance to walk over by the offensive line for the Vikings and talk about some big boys. They say all the kids in Nebraska are corn-fed. I'm not quite sure about that because that offensive line, we were talking about it beforehand, and you look at the line, and the kids are averaging about 6'2", 250 pounds. And in high school, that's definitely
it is, yeah, definitely
a nice
big
thing to have, yeah. All right, and this will be the first time we see quarterback, Vince Vilpati in the shotgun set and trips out to the left, and Vilpati with his first pass of the game and off the hands of his intended receiver, and that is Wickle. Wickle not totally ready for that pass. So Vilpati, we haven't seen him throw, but it looked like he had a nice little arm with that little toss.
Yeah, first attempt of the game, and on the season, only 3 for 25 for 47 yards. So, hasn't thrown much, but that was a nice pass there. Just looked like Wickle wasn't ready. He didn't get his head around in time, but he was open there.
Yeah, it's no secret that Valley Christian likes to run the ball, like you mentioned, only 3 for 25 for the quarterback for Valley Christian. So, again, Vilpati in the shotgun set, this time 4 men out wide, and Vilpati nowhere to go. He tucks it in and is going to take it himself. Vilpati still on his feet, trying to pick up the first down, and there he gets it, reaching for the first down. Great play for Vilpati as Valley Christian keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, we have to remember Vilpati, beginning of the season, was a receiver. He's their leading receiver with 5 receptions for over 150 yards. He's got speed and also 56 carries. So he was a great offensive weapon before, and that's what you have there. You just have a running back / wide receiver who can do it now. Can throw the ball a little bit too. Right.
For you at home who are not aware, the original starting quarterback for Valley Christian was Damon Taylor. He was injured with a ligament torn in his thumb, so they went to Vilpati. This time a little bit of a wildcat formation there, as it is Howard Wickle taking the rock from the snap, and he picks up a couple of yards. So everyone jumping on the wildcat bandwagon. Yeah, that's going to bring up 2nd and about 9 here for Valley Christian. So we're seeing a whole bunch of different looks here from the Vikings, maybe trying to throw off Salesian a little bit here on the defensive side.
Yeah, good stop there. Make it 2nd down and long here for the Vikings.
And Vilpati this time handing off again. And this is a look at A.J. Harris, the big fullback, keeping the chains moving there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 here for Valley Christian. I think Valley Christian kind of knows that against this Salesian team, they're going to have to kind of change up their game plan. You know, this team loves to run, but it looks like they're kind of realizing they're going to have to pass the ball a little bit tonight to get a W.
Yeah, I think so, especially if they start getting in these 3rd and 5 situations. They're really going to have to start throwing the ball because in this, where they are on the field, it's not 2-down territory the way that Salesian came out in their first offensive possession.
And Volpati picks up a few yards himself. That's going to bring up 4th and 1 here, so a big 4th down play for Valley Christian.
And it looks like they will go for it on 4th down. I mean, it's 4th and about 2.
So here on 4th and about 2 yards, Volpati with 3 men in the backfield. Elects to hand off this time again to Howard Wickle. Wickle stretching for that first down. You could tell Wickle wanted that.
Yeah, he did, and that moves the chains. And Coach John Perella obviously wanting to make a statement here on this drive, and they convert that first down.
Yeah, that shows the confidence in this running game from head coach John Perilla. He's saying, hey, it's 4th and 2. We're at the 34-yard line. We're still going to go for it, you know, and obviously it paid off for them there. All right, it's going to bring up 1st and 10 here for Valley Christian High School. And Vince Volpati, the quarterback, handing off again, and this time it's a look at A.J. Harris. So we are seeing the two-headed monster, if you will, for Valley Christian's running game. It's been all Harris and pretty much all Wickle.
Yeah, it has, and that's the 2 backs that Salesian's going to have to focus on the rest of the way, running that kind of zone read, that read option. We haven't seen Volpati keep it yet, but he's another dangerous threat. There's kind of a 3-headed monster they have back there, Eric.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, on 2nd and 5, they elect to go back to the ground this time and back to Harris. Harris stumbles in for a couple of yards. That's going to bring up about 3rd and 4 for Valley Christian High School.
And that's what this offense does to you. You know, you have short games, you know, a short gain here, a short gain there. They just kind of just pound the ball and tire you out, and then they break a long one. And that's what we saw on the first drive, and that's what this offense will do to you.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have the option of running up the gut because of that big offensive line. So now on 3rd and about 4, Valley Christian trying to keep this drive alive. Vince Volpati with the handoff again, and this is again another look with Howard Wickle as he picks up another couple of yards. So that's going to be well short of the first down. That's going to make it about 4th and 2 for Valley Christian. So I would assume they'll probably go for it again here.
Yeah, and until they get stopped, you know, a few times in a row, you know, until Wickle is not running the ball with success, getting at least 2 yards of carry, they're not going to throw the ball. You know, they're able to convert that last 4th down, and this one's about the same distance, about 4th and 2, and they're going to go for it again here.
Yeah, again, 3 men in the backfield here for Valley Christian. Volpati with the hard count. Hands off again to Wickle. Wickle putting his head down and getting that first down. Man, it is time and time again. They are just kind of putting on a running clinic tonight against Celsian. And it's kind of fun to watch. You know, I never thought I'd say watching 2 yards of carry is fun, but when it works each and every time, it kind of is.
Yeah, it has worked each and every time. And then, you know, then we're going to see a long one pretty soon, like I just mentioned previously. They're going to tire you out and get those short gains play after play and then break one long.
All right, that brings up 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line for Valley Christian. And this is a handoff to A.J. Harris. And Harris brought down after a gain of 2 by Celsian's cornerback. That was Joanne Harrison for the Pride. So if you're the Pride right now, and if you're that defensive unit, how do you keep from getting fatigued against this offense who obviously loves to run it down your throat?
Yeah, it's tough, especially when they're, you know, each play, they're getting a few yards of carry, just taking little chunks, you know, and they're going to tire this defense out. They're just going to have to make a stop. And
that's a look at Howard Wickle. Wickle up again against his guards there and picks up another couple of yards. That's about a gain of 5 for Wickle.
Yeah, Eric, and that's really the only way you can the defense can get off the field. They need to make a stop, and Zach Boyette, the quarterback, is out there playing both ways, and I'm sure there are a number of other guys out there, and that could really, really hurt them, you know, if Valley Christian's able to just control the clock really, and they have so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned the clock, and we're down to 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. And I'm glad you mentioned that Zach Boyette, the quarterback, also for the Pride, is playing defense because these are both tremendously small schools. We'll get to more of that here at the first quarter break. But this is going to be the last play of the first quarter as Howard Wickle stays on his feet, refusing to go down, and is finally eventually brought down after picking up the first down for Valley Christian. So Wickle, we talked about him before, not the biggest kid, about 5'6", 170 pounds, but you see the will, you see the drive from Wickle. Yeah. And that will run out the first quarter. And with that said, Alex, let's talk a little bit about the size of these schools. And when talking to the coaches before the ballgame, that all the pride they get in the fact that these are small schools. Out of the Division IV league, you look at both these schools, and they're the top three schools with the smallest attendance. Keep in mind, Valley Christian only has 285 kids in enrollment, while Salesian has 484. So what's that mean? What kind of pride do you get being a smaller school?
You know, a lot of pride when you can have this kind of success with, you know, such small schools. And Salesian coming off an NCS title, a state championship as well, and they've dominated the league these past 8 years from 03 to 11. They've been league champs.
Yeah, not to date myself, but I love seeing that kind of football. You know, the Iron Man football, call me old school if you will, but it's good to see when kids hustle on both sides of the ball. Again, update, guys, we are entering the second quarter here with Salesian leading over the host Valley Christian Vikings 7-6 here as we enter the second quarter. So Valley Christian, if you guys are just joining us, have not been afraid to run the ball tonight as they've been extremely successful on this drive.
Yeah, they have. And
let me interrupt you really quick, Alex, because that was a tremendous hit by Salesian's linebacker. That's a look at Tristan Castle dropping the blow there. And we haven't really seen the Pride's defense come up with the big-time prideful hit. And there we go. Maybe that big-time tackle from Castle will get this defense ignited.
Yeah, and that was Isaiah Harris who was on the receiving end of that blow, coming out now, and A.J. Harris coming back in. But only one attempt through the air tonight, and they've been very successful on the ground.
As you look at Howard Wickle with the carry, and he stays on his feet, cuts it to the outside, and picks up about 6 yards. And the thing about Wickle, what I'm most impressed by this kid is the fact that he gets hit once or twice before going down, and that is a great attribute to have, especially if you're a running back.
Yeah, he's bouncing off tackles, and like we said, he's a small guy. He's 5'6", $170, and he just won't go down. And we saw that right there, and he's got some speed too. So balance, vision. We saw that cutback earlier on that run that got called back. He's having a great game so far.
Hey, a wise man once said, small things come in great packages. Other way around. Great things come in small packages. As we see the toss outside of A.J. Harris. Harris has got all the room in the world to run down the sideline, lowers his head after the big-time game there, down to the 10-yard line, giving the Vikings the big-time first down.
Yeah, A.J. Harris rumbling down the sideline there, the 215-pound senior. And he was showing some speed there too, Eric.
Yeah, despite the size, like you mentioned, 215 pounds, he did have that speed, did he not?
He did. Great run from A.J. Harris.
And that's going to bring up about first and goal, not quite, about first and 10.5 for the Vikings as they try to retake the lead here at Chabot College in Hayward, California. As quarterback of Vince Volpati has one man in the backfield, and he goes back to Harris. Harris this time stumbled up after a gain of 2.
Pretty safe to say, Eric, that the Vikings will not abandon this running game anytime soon. They're going to I would say, you know, there's not going to be more than 5 or 6 attempts. If Salesian forces them to throw, then they're going to throw. But other than that, they're going to keep it on the ground. And
honestly, Alex, why would they change things
exactly.
up? You know, I mean, this drive has been a prime example of why this team is so successful on the ground. All right, on 2nd and 6, and this time it's a quarterback keeper from Volpati, and he is stopped after a gain of about 1, if that. So that'll bring up about 3rd and 8 here for the Vikings.
Yeah, it looked like Volpati was a little bit confused there. Looks like he wanted to give it to Harris, but then decided to keep it and didn't really run to the outside, kind of followed A.J. Harris up in the hole there.
All right, that's going to bring up 3rd and about 8 here for the Vikings as they try to retake the lead here. And you got to figure that Salesian defense is getting a little bit tired already at this point, especially on this drive, which has been majestically put together by the Valley Christian running backs. And we see a pass here from Volpati. He's got a man open in the back of the end zone, but it is overthrown to his intended receiver, who was Hunter Schaefer. Schaefer wide open in the back of the zone. Volpati just a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, wide open. Hunter Schaefer, and maybe Volpati had some room out there. Maybe he should have set his feet there and would have had a better chance of hitting receiver instead of throwing on the run. But that's, when you don't throw the ball that much, Eric, that's, you miss those kind of throws sometimes.
Yeah, I wanted to mention Salesian obviously ready for that run there. Great play call nonetheless from head coach of Valley Christian, John Perella there. All right, guys, do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, please go to playonsports.com/SBP. So you guys definitely want to check that out. I always mention that I wish I had this kind of stuff when I played high school sports. How great of a program is it for kids to go home and watch their highlights on a Friday night, the next day, wake up and, hey, I'm going to go see myself and see my huge touchdown that I had in that big game last night. So definitely something great.
Can even make highlight tapes for yourself.
That's
as well,
right. That's right. All right, that's going to bring up 4th and 8 here for Valley Christian as they elect to go for it. 2 men in the backfield. Quarterback Vince Volpati with the hard count. He rolls out to his left, decides to keep the ball himself, and has a man wide open, and again overthrown by Volpati as he had A.J. Harris wide open in the end zone again. And Volpati, it's one of those plays where you just get overly excited.
Yeah, exactly, Eric. And that was another great play call. He got flushed out of the pocket, had to step up, but he still was able to find A.J. Harris. A.J. was open earlier, but Volpati was pressured, and after Volpati got flushed out and stepped up, he just wasn't able to hit him. Overshot his receiver for the second time in the end zone on that drive.
Yeah, 2 big missed opportunities there for the Vikings as Salesian takes over here on downs at the 8-yard line. So Salesian, we haven't seen their offense in about a quarter. Alex, what can we expect from them here?
Yeah, stay with that ground and pound. 2 great running backs like we talked about earlier with Hernandez and Page.
And it is Page in the backfield here as they switch up their offensive look. And quarterback Zach Boyd with a pass to the outside, but it is incomplete to his intended receiver, and that was Aaron Hayes. So Boyd, I would assume his arm's probably a little cold at this point.
Yeah, he was out on that whole defensive series. He's playing both ways, and you got to imagine some other players on that Salesian team also playing both sides of the ball.
All right, that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 here with about 9 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the first half. And quarterback Zach Boyd trying to get his offense going here. And it takes the snap, and we've got a toss to the outside, and that is a look at Salesian running back D'Angelo Hernandez, and Hernandez brought down quickly by the defense of Valley Christian there. So give credit to the Vikings defense for making a big-time stop.
Yeah, and on that passing play, I wasn't too sure about that first down call, but that was actually a great call because the Vikings right now, Salesian wasn't able to hit it. The Vikings have a lot of guys stacked up in the box there. They're expecting the run, and so right here, you'd expect a pass from Salesian, but maybe they'll start throwing it a little more if the Vikings are stacking the box.
Yeah, let's see if quarterback Zach Boyd does decide to use the arm here on the 3rd and about 7 for the Pride. We have a man in motion. And we've got a play-action pass by Boyd. He's got some time, rolls out of the pocket. He's got a man across the field, but the pass is incomplete to his intended receiver there. So Boyd got a little extra time rolling out of the pocket, but that is such a difficult pass to make when you're moving at the same time and not set.
Yeah, it is, and that's we see that kind of play call with a lot of high school teams, just kind of a sprint pass. You get your fullback in the flat, you get your tight end in the flat, and just unable to connect there. And it is hard when you're on the run there. You really need to set your feet, but you got defenders bearing down on you.
Yeah, very good point, Alex. That's going to be up 4th and 7 as Salesian elects to punt here. That is Clayton Carter receiving for the Vikings, and the ball bounces back as Salesian downs the ball. And that'll give the Vikings a first down from the 44-yard line. So the Vikings, again, with a great opportunity to try to retake the lead with 8 minutes and 28 seconds remaining here in the second quarter at Chabot College in Hayward, California.
Yeah, and for Salesian, you definitely wanted to string together a few first downs on that last drive because your defense is right back out there here.
All right, that brings up 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. And let's look at Howard Wickle. Wickle staying on his feet, but nowhere to go. Give credit there to the Pride's defense and defensive end for the Pride. That was Jacob Schaefer with the stop. So one of the rare occasions where we actually see the Pride's defense stopping Wickle and stopping him in the backfield.
Yeah, run into the short side there. 16, Clayton Carter for Valley Christian. Unable to get on his defender there. He had a crack block and unable to connect on that block, and that really blew up the play there, as I believe it was Boyette who was in there too.
All right, that's going to be up 2nd and 11 for Valley Christian as they elect to go back to Wickle. Wickle trying to cut this thing outside, and he's got a couple of yardage, staying on his feet somehow, and picks up the first down. Boy, oh boy, we see Wickle churning the legs, and talk about an impressive run there. Gets hit twice, spins, stays on his feet, and picks up the first down.
Yeah, not much more you can say. He's running with authority. He's got speed. He got to the outside there and able to stay on his feet and pick up that first down, Eric.
And again, if you're just joining us, Wickle scored on the first offensive possession for Valley Christian, giving him his 20th touchdown on the ground this season. So, dare I say, Emmett Smith numbers, right? Do these high school kids even know who Emmett Smith is? That makes me feel dated and old.
Safe to say, I think they do.
Okay. I don't feel so bad anymore. Okay, that's going to be up 1st and 10 here for the Vikings as they continue to drive. And this time we got to look at the option as, Volpati has nowhere to go and is stuffed in the backfield there by the linebacker for the Pride. And that is a look at Vincent Rowland Jr. with a nice tackle. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
That option there, and if Volpati was able to get the ball out to Wickle, he had A.J. Harris in front of him. It was kind of an option with the lead blocker there.
And that will bring up 2nd and 9 here for the Vikings. 2 men in the backfield again with A.J. Harris and Howard Wickle. And the look goes to Harris this time. The big fullback stumbles for a yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. So, hey, give a lot of credit to the defense for the Pride here, really playing with a lot of pride. They've got to be a little tired for as much as Valley Christian has been running the ball, but nonetheless still making big plays here.
Yeah, this is a great defensive series so far. They got the Vikings in a 3rd and long, a definite passing situation here, unless they've thought about, we got 2 downs for a first down, so we'll see what they do here.
And there we go with the Wildcat look again. That is Wickle with the snap, and he's got some daylight. We do have a flag on the play, and Wickle stumbles for the first down. Somehow that kid again stays on his feet, but we do have a flag on the play. And again, we got another look at that Wildcat formation from the Vikings. So trying to switch things up there on the Salesian defense. And we do have an injured player on the field for Salesian. Looks like he might have got knocked in the stomach. Lost some air. We'll get you updated on who that is once we can see the number up here in the press box at Chabot College in Hayward, California. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. As the injured player for Salesian is Jacob Schaefer, and he gets off on his own, so that's always good to see.
Yeah, and so it's a 3rd down and long here.
Yeah, so that's going to drop Valley Christian way back.
Yeah, it looked like it was a possibly a holding call at or near the line of scrimmage there, Eric. So that brings him back to a 3rd and long now.
Yeah, again, a disappointing penalty there for Valley Christian as Wickle picked up the big first down on that Wildcat formation. All right, it's going to go 3rd and about 6-17, I'll say here, as Volpati drops back, got some time, got a man open, and off the fingertips of his intended receiver, that was Clayton Carter not able to pick up the grab. Nonetheless, he would have been well short of the first down.
Yeah, so a victory here for the Salesian defense, able to get a stop, able to get that defense off the field.
Yeah, Salesian's defense has really been up to the task tonight, slowing down as best as they could of this running game of Valley Christian. And when we talked to Chad Nightingale, the head coach for Salesian, Alex, he mentioned that basically we have to play with a lot of pride tonight and make sure to contain this team. So far, have they contained them?
I think they've done a fairly good job. You know, like I said, this offense, they're going to bust some big plays on you, but that was a great defensive series from Salesian.
As quarterback, Vince Volpati also playing the role of punter here, and the ball goes into the end zone, and that'll give the Pride the ball at the 20-yard line. Yeah, going back to Salesian's defense, and when we talked to head coach Chad Nightingale, he really had a lot of great things to say about his squad and the fact that his squad is so small. We mentioned this before. He takes a lot of pride in the fact that his small club and small school can compete with the big-time schools. And so far you're seeing all of the effort that the head coach puts on his team out here tonight.
Yeah, not only small, but they also graduated 22 seniors a year ago. And they were predicted to go 6-4 this year. They've had a great season so far, and they're looking to win this game and go 9-1 on the season, Eric.
Yeah, you mentioned that a lot of the bigwigs here in the Bay Area predicted this team to go 6-4. The fact that they're 8-1 headed into the last game of the season has a lot of pride on this team as D'Angelo Hernandez stays on his feet there and picks up the nice game. But again, going back to the fact that they were predicted by a lot of people to go 6-4, the fact that they are 8-1 heading into this game, he said that his kids didn't talk out loud about it too much, but they gave themselves that look, that look that, hey, we're doing this.
A little
watch
bit of
out.
Bulletin board material maybe. And that's just, the 8-1 record just really shows they got a great staff over there. And for being such a small school and a great group of kids on this varsity team.
All right, it's going to bring up the 2nd and 1 here for the Pride. Quarterback Zach Boyett addressing his team, directing his team, got a man in motion right to left, and we do have a timeout from Salesian as you take a look at Chad Nightingale coming out to the field. And talking about Nightingale, talking about a football IQ, Nightingale was heavily recruited out of Moore Catholic High School and was picked up by Cal back in the late 80s so as a wide receiver. So he's got a lot of football knowledge, and talking to him before the ball game, I felt it. I mean, this guy knows football.
Yeah, he's, kind of a football guru. He loves it, and you could really tell talking to him on the field. He gave us a lot of good stuff about Valley Christian, too, and you can just tell he's got a love for the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. The reason I love high school football so much is that despite the fact that these two teams are competing against each other, they both root for each other, as awkward as that sounds. When talking to Chad Nightingale, he says, hey, I'm rooting for John and his Valley Christian team to do well, but just maybe not tonight, right? But nonetheless, he has a lot of pride in the fact that both these schools are small schools.
And that last play, Eric, I thought they were going to call a false start. It looked like Page wasn't supposed to go in motion there, and he kind of came up and then maybe saved himself there by continuing to move. They had two guys moving on that play and were able to get the timeout.
Yeah, and that's maybe why we saw Nightingale jump out on the field really quick to call that timeout. Yeah. All right, it's going to be 2nd and 1 here for the Pride. Boyette with the hard count, got a man in motion right to left. And Boyette with the play action rolling out to his right, has got a man open, and that is a look at Michael Page. And Page stayed on his feet. Page all the way down the sideline, and there he goes again. Page for the second time in this ballgame scores, and just like that, it is 13-6 Pride. So we mentioned beforehand that Page was hurt up until this ballgame, and that was his 3rd look at the ballgame, and on 3 looks he has 2 scores. Page are feeling pretty healthy tonight.
Yeah, and the block that sprung that, Jacob Schaefer, number 18, absolutely leveled Clayton Carter, and Clayton Carter's slow to get off the field here, but that's the block that sprung Page, and what a block there. I don't know if you saw that one, but it was just an absolute pancake there for Schaefer.
Yeah, that big-time block definitely sprung up the sideline there for the big-time score as place kicker Diego Stern puts it through the uprights, giving Salesian the 14-6 lead here with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Let's talk about Michael Page again. First game back from injury, seen the ball 3 times, and what I'm amazed is that the kid's bouncing back from an injury, but did you see the speed down the sideline from Page?
Yeah, once he caught that ball and turned his head upfield, and showed that speed, and he was gone. He got a great block from his teammates, but I don't know, even if that block wasn't made by Schaefer, I don't know if anyone would have caught him. He's got great speed and showed it on that play. Yeah,
he definitely has that breakaway speed as Page gives his team the 14-6 lead here. So if you're Valley Christian, there's 4 minutes left here in the first half. Do you continue to stay with the run despite the fact that there isn't that much time left here in the first half and you're down by a score?
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to give Salesian the ball again before halftime. So you try to eat up all that clock, try to continue to convert first downs, and hopefully get another score before halftime. But that was a great defensive stop by Salesian and a great run there by Page to get up 8 here before halftime.
As Salesian kicker Diego Stern gets ready to kick off. And it is another squib kick by Stern as Josh Kadara falls on it and will give Valley Christian the ball at the 35-yard line. So definitely some nice field position to work with here with about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the first half for Valley Christian as they trail 14-6. How big of a score is this here for Valley Christian if they can manage to get in the end zone right before the half?
It's huge, because they just, like we said, they dominated the clock kind of. Salesian almost didn't get the ball for the whole first quarter. So they can score here. They got momentum. I believe Salesian gets it at halftime, but still it'll be huge for the Vikings.
All right, quarterback Vince Volparty leading his team, and that's a look at Howard Wickle. Wickle staying on his feet, and it takes about 3 white and black jerseys to bring him down as he picks up 4 yards with 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 here for the Vikings.
Salesian doing a better job rallying to the ball. I mean, he did gain 4 yards. 3 yards they're calling it on that play, but a great job by the Pride, able to rally early on. That could have been a 5 or 6 yard gain with Wickle breaking off those tackles. Yeah, that's a good point. The fact that the Pride's defense has been stepping up here in the second quarter, slowing down the running game for Valley Christian. As Volparty that's a keeper by Volparty as he picks up 3 yards. So it must be hard playing defense if you're the Pride nonetheless, because you never know who's going to get the rock. And the fact is that they have a bunch of different looking formats out there on the offensive side for Valley Christian that give credit to the Pride for being able to slow down this offense a little bit. Yeah, the Pride just have to stick to their keys. They're linebackers and corners who are assigned to the quarterback, to the dive man, to the pitch man, and you just got to stay disciplined in order to stop this offense.
All right, it's going to be up 3rd and 4 here for Valley Christian High School with 3 minutes left to play in the first half, and we do have a timeout of Valley Christian. Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about PlayOnSports.com?
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
And you mentioned that it is all sports. I think a lot of people assume that it's just high school football, but no. Alex, in fact, was busy at a tennis match today. Weren't you in San Francisco?
I was over in Golden Gate Park, shooting a little tennis, some singles and doubles finals, Marine Academy and Sacred Heart Convent over there, and some good tennis being played. We also done some lacrosse in the spring, some baseball. Play on Sports really covers all high school sports, Eric.
Yeah, definitely a great thing for these kids to go home and enjoy. So there's 3 minutes left here at Chabot College in the first half in Hayward, California. The host Valley Christian Vikings trailing the Pride 6-14 here as they have the ball on the 42-yard line at 3rd and 5. So big-time possession here for Valley Christian as they try to go into the half with a little momentum. Quarterback Vince Volpati getting his team ready. 2 men in the backfield. Harris and Wickle, and that's a look at Wickle cutting through the hole, staying on his feet and picking up the first down. And, I mentioned before that Wickle on the season is averaging 10.48 yards a carry. 10.48. It's a little unfathomable to think every time this kid touches the ball, he gets a first down, but you're starting to see why.
Yeah, and he's been amazing tonight so far, and they're going to continue to give him the ball until the Pride can stop him.
So that gives Valley Christian the big first down here on 1st and 10. They go back to Wickle. Wickle cutting to the outside this time, and he is dropped after a gain of 4. That's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for Valley Christian with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left to play.
And he doesn't have the speed of this player, but those are some D'Anthony Thomas type numbers. The speed strip at Oregon, he's, for his career averages over 9. And we have Wickle averaging over 10.
Right. And isn't Thomas nicknamed the Black Mamba also?
He is.
Yeah. So maybe we can call Wickle the White Mamba. I'm sure he would enjoy it. And we do have a fumble on the play, but I believe it is recovered by Valley Christian. I didn't quite see what happened. We do have a flag as well. We'll have to see what the flag is here.
And Coach Nightingale pointing in the direction of the Vikings, telling them to back it up here on this 3rd down, and we'll have to see what the refs come up with here.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened on the play, but it looked like Volpati lost the rock off the snap. And here's the play from the officials. And it is on a Valley Christian, a personal foul, so that's going to drop them back. Boy, a tough penalty there if you're the Vikings.
Yeah, back-to-back series where you have tough penalties on 3rd down. And kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Definitely not what he wanted. 3rd and very long here.
Yeah, 3rd and about 20 here for the Vikings as they try to enter the half with a little momentum. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first half. And on 3rd and 20, we haven't seen the pass here. Do we see a pass here finally? Did they try to get something going?
I wouldn't. You try to just use as much time as you can and force Salesian to use their timeouts here if they really want to try to get the ball back and score.
All right, now on 3rd and 20, Volpati with a snap, and he elects to pass. He's got a man downfield, and he's got his wide receiver wide open, and the ball is fumbled and jumbled and almost through the hands of wide receiver Clayton Carter. And Carter did everything with that ball, but was not able to drag it in. Nonetheless, a great ball from Volpati. Carter, 9 out of 10 times is going to make that grab. It was just one of those plays where it was just a hot potato.
Yeah, the Vikings thinking the opposite of what I had in mind, and also what Salesian had in mind. They were thinking run all the way. Carter able to get behind the defense and bobbled that about 3 or 4 times, Eric, and he would have been gone. Wow, missed opportunity there on 3rd and long.
Yeah, without question. Give head coach, Valley Christian head coach John Perella some credit, though, for that play call. You got to love to see that. Yeah. Like you said, the Pride had the box stacked, and we saw Volpati there, and talk about a nice little arm. That was a great ball from Volpati, as we do have a flag on this punt, as D'Angelo Hernandez returns the ball back for Salesian, but he is stopped at the 39-yard line. Again, there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, that was a great ball, and he was able to set up and throw down the field. All the other balls really have been on the run from Volpati. A nice ball. Carter almost able to hang on.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that he had the opportunity to set up, because there you saw what that did for him. The fact that he did set up, it gave him that accuracy on that long ball there.
Yeah, he's able to square his shoulders, and he didn't take too big of a step with his front leg. So everything looked good there, and he was able to deliver a nice ball.
All right, so Salesian will take over on the 39-yard line with 1 minute and 32 seconds left to play here in the first half at Chabot College in Hayward, California. Thank you for watching PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. As quarterback Zach Boyett tries to rally his team here right before the half. He drops back, 3-step back, and he's got a man open across the field, and that is a look at a wide receiver, Aaron Hayes. So just Salesian trying to get something going here offensively, and we're starting to see what quarterback Zach Boyett can do with his arm. Nice little look there from Boyett.
Yeah, just before that play, I was about to say this is where you take your shot. It wasn't a deep shot downfield, but a pretty good completion that got them inside Viking territory.
Yeah, it'll put them at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 with a minute and 10 seconds left there to play for the Pride. Boyette with the man in motion from right to left. Boyette drops back, nowhere to go. He's got a little screen pass out to his running back, and that's a look at Page again. Page off his feet, and look at the speed on this kid, and there he goes again down the sideline. And boy, oh boy, have you seen any kind of speed here in the Bay Area? Because I'm certain that Page has to be one of the fastest tailbacks in the East Bay.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. He has some electric speed there, and a great call. A screen play off to the right side. The wide receiver on that side ran his defender off, and again, Page showing that speed, to get in before halftime.
And the third score from Page gives Salesian the 20-6 lead here with 51 seconds left to play here. As a place kicker, Diego Stern gets ready for the point after. And Stern's attempt is no good. So that will lead the score 20-6 for Pride as they lead with 51 seconds left to play. And let's go back to the play of Michael Page. It's been well documented tonight by the both of us that Page was injured for a while, and this is his first game back. From my count, he has 4 touches, 3 touchdowns.
Quite amazing after, coming back from injury. And trying to think, I've seen some fast running backs this year, in the NCS, in the East Bay, and he's definitely one of the fastest. I mean, you have Joe Mixon over there at Freedom. We were out there the other night. He's a fast running back, only a junior. And also the senior from Stockton, Justin Davis, who's committed to USC. He's one of the top in the country. But, other than that, I think Page is right there with the best of them, and Page is a senior.
Yeah, had Page not been injured this season, I'd be curious to see his stats on the season, because I'm telling you, you can't teach that kind of speed. Page just has that extra burst, and took off there for his 3rd score of the game. All right, 51 seconds left here to play in the first half as Valley Christian tries to get something going before the half comes here. And the squib kick by Diego is picked up there by Valley Christian's Volpati, quarterback Vince Volpati showing off his speed. Volpati also played quarterback, and he's going to score on this play. Volpati takes it in, and we have a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Never have I seen that. The quarterback return a kick for a touchdown with 40 seconds left to play in the half. That's going to make it 20-12.
Yeah, just as I was going to mention, that last possession really hurting the Vikings, them giving back the ball to Salesian, but Volpati able to make a play with his legs. Wow.
Yeah, and the thing is, I had a double take at my roster here up in the press box because I was like, wait, 17 is Vince Volpati, right? What's he doing returning this ball? But there we got a great look at Volpati's speed. We mentioned before that he wasn't the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, but he played wide receiver. You're seeing why he played wide receiver. So now the Vikings trail 20-12 with 38 seconds left to play in the first half as they set up to go for 2 here. And we do have a timeout from the Pride here. So let's go back to Vince Volpati. Not too often that you see your starting quarterback get a kick return for a touchdown in a football game. Quite a play there from Volpati.
Yeah, it was, and that really, got them back into the game. Like you just said, the possession before, he almost hit Clayton Carter, for what could have been a touchdown, and that would have been bad going into halftime right there if it was 20-6. But Volpati able to pick up that ball and take it to the house and really change the momentum going into halftime, Eric.
That's a great point. You don't want to sugarcoat the fact that, we'd say that they would be okay going down 20-6 at the half. But let's face it, that the fact that they scored there was huge.
Yeah,
humongous.
Really was.
So Valley Christian comes back out on the field here, electing to go for 2 here on the extra point. Vince Volpati not tired after that great return. It's got 3 men in the backfield here, as Valley Christian likes to set up in this offensive format. And Volpati with the pass, and that is a great snag there by tight end Demaray Blackwell, the big tight end, 6'2", 220 pounds, only a junior, giving Valley Christian the 2-point conversion, and that makes it 20-14, ladies and gentlemen, with 38 seconds left to play in the first half. Again, hey, they needed a score. It was 50 seconds left in the first half, and wow.
Yeah, that's all you can say, Eric. And that 2-point conversion, the throw again from Volpati high, but Blackwell able to climb the ladder there and haul that one in, and they were going to have to go for 2 eventually. They decided to do it now. So we got a 6-point game here with 38 seconds left.
Yeah, great job by Volpati there, finding his tallest receiver on the squad, Demaray Blackwell, 6'2", so you could tell that he put that ball perfectly in place for Blackwell to go up and grab it, because no other receiver on that Valley Christian squad would have been able to catch that ball. All right, so there's 38 seconds left here in the first half at Chabot College in Hayward, California. Host Valley Christian trailing 14-20 to Salesian, the Pride, with 3 scores from running back Michael Page, as the kickoff is picked up by Tyrone Morgan, and Morgan cuts it out to the right sideline, and he's got some speed, and he's got a little daylight, but is dragged down eventually here at the 40, and we do have another flag on the play.
A lot of laundry here in the first half.
Yeah, there has been quite a few penalties here. Nonetheless, that's what happens when you have the last regular season game and playoff implications. I'm sure both teams probably a little bit, I don't want to say more aggressive, but trying to maybe get that extra push in, and that tends to hurt sometimes on the penalty front.
Yeah, exactly. And both teams on 3-game win streaks too, and you just want to keep that positive momentum going into the playoffs.
Yeah, so if it's not enough that both these teams are playing for playoff implications, they are playing for the fact that both of them are on that 3-game win streak. And, we mentioned before that Valley Christian has never beat the Pride in their existence. In 4 tries, they are 0-4. Meantime, the Pride have a 22-game winning streak that I'm sure they don't want to lose here. So the Pride will take over here with 27 seconds left in the first half on the 46-yard line. Quarterback Zach Boyd with 2 men in the backfield. And Boyd drops back. He's got some time. Elects to go back to that screen and back to Page. And Michael Page this time finally brought down for a 3-yard gain. So that is probably the first time that Page has been dropped down for less than the gain of a touchdown.
Yeah, the junior Josh Campbell there, fantastic play. Saw that screen all the way, got off his block, and made sure he was able to bring Page down there for a short gain as the clock is now at 16 seconds until halftime.
Yeah, I would assume if you're Salesian and head coach Chad Nightingale, if you have a weapon like Michael Page, I would assume that you would want to use him here with 16 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, definitely, and also try to find, he's got great speed like we talked about, but even though you try to find a mismatch, you try to get him on a backer or, like coming out of the backfield on a screen, maybe running a wheel route or something where he's going to be lined up with a linebacker in coverage, Eric.
Yeah, that's a great point. They've gone to that little screen pass for Page, and it seems to be relatively effective here for the Pride. So after the timeout from Salesian, that's going to bring up 2nd and 7 from the 46-yard line with 16 seconds left in the first half. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. So if you're Salesian, you got realistically 2 more plays here to score. And on 2nd and 7, quarterback Zach Boyett directing his wide receivers. 3 men to the right and 1 man in motion, right to left. And they go back to the ground, and that is a look at tailback Austin Ambian. Or excuse me, that was Michael Page, correct? And Michael Page picking up some more chunk of yardage and another first down. So Page showing off the weapons here again with his offensive legs. That's going to bring up First and 10 from the 30-yard line with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Zach Boyette quick to the ball. He's got a man to the right and tosses to his right side. He's got his man wide in the end zone, and that is caught by wide receiver Aaron Hayes. And what a ball by Zach Boyette on the post route to Hayes. Hayes bringing it in, but give credit to quarterback Zach Boyette for the touch and the touchdown. And as we go into the half, that gives the Pride the 26-14 lead. What a huge play there from Boyette.
Yeah, we've seen 3 touchdowns here in the late, the second quarter as the time's ticking down. But what a throw there! I don't know if Valley Christian thought he was going to try to kill the clock, if he thought he was going to spike it, but he just threw that up to Hayes, and Hayes able to come down with it. Great throw.
Yeah, it's a good point. The defense was playing on their heels, it looked like there, and boy, give credit to Boyette for making that toss there. Nonetheless, putting that thing on a platter as Diego Stern puts the ball through the uprights, and that will give the Pride the 27-14 lead here as we enter the half. We'll be back in a few moments with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday Night Football, the last regular season football game of the year on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com. It is your halftime show coming to you from Chabot College in Hayward, California. I am Eric Hodge, joined alongside Alex Richmond. Our halftime scorer here at Chabot College is the home of Valley Christian Vikings, trailing 14-27 to the Pride. And boy, oh boy, we saw some fireworks in the first half, Alex Richmond, and especially from the Pride's running back, Michael Page. What can you tell me from your perspective, what you saw from the kid who scored 3 touchdowns for the Pride?
He's got some speed, some electric speed. You know, we talked about he's coming off that injury. This is his first game. He led the team in rushing the first five games of the season, coming back in his first game. And he's got 3 touchdowns tonight, Eric, 3 already. And you said there were some fireworks, especially in the latter part of the second quarter. There were 3 touchdowns scored, 2 by Salesian and 1 by Valley Christian.
And again, we are out here at Chabot College. We had some technical difficulties there with our camera up in the press box here in Hayward, California. Nonetheless, let's go back to the game here. And for Valley Christian, down 27-14, what do you say to your kids if you're head coach John Perella in the locker room to try to get them fired up for this game?
You know, just stick to the game plan. Continue to run the ball. You know, we've seen they missed 1 throw down the field that could have been a touchdown. They were able to complete the 2-point conversion, but just keep the ball on the ground. That's what like we said, they average almost 315 yards a game on the ground, Eric. And so you really got to stick to that. You can't, veer away from your game plan and start throwing the ball unless you really have to, unless it's late in the game. So stick to the run, try to get a few stops on defense, and you get another score, and you're really back in the game. You're only down a touchdown. You're down 6 actually. So they're right back in it if they can get a score here in the third quarter.
Yeah, definitely. They have plenty of momentum to try to get things going here, not down by too much here. And again, this is just a powerhouse matchup between 2 of these teams from the Tri-County Rocket League. Valley Christian entering the game 7-2, 3-2 in league play. Meantime, Salesian 8-1 overall and 4-1 in league play. So again, let's talk about playoff implications at this point. Seedings come into play with the winner of this ballgame, so a win is big for either team here.
Yeah, definitely. Win is huge. And talking to Coach Nightingale for Salesian, they come into this game with the same, same attitude they have all year. It's just another game. There are playoff implications, but he tries to stress to his kids that, we're going to go out there and we're just going to – it's another game. It's the last game of the season. He doesn't try to put too much into their heads. Just kind of do the basics and we'll get it done. And that's what they did in the first half, and they're up 27-14.
Yeah, both teams entering this game with 3-game winning streaks. Let's go over the records over the last 3 games for both these squads. Salesian, over the last 3 wins beat St. Patrick out of Vallejo back on October 6th, 40-0. And then October 12th, they beat St. Mary's out of Albany, 42-26. Meantime, on October 27th, they beat Berrien Christian, 49-7. So offensively, they're putting up some big numbers, and we're starting to see why tonight.
Yeah, they're averaging almost 40 points a game, which is huge, and pretty much all that on the ground. That last game against Berrien Christian, they had 7 touchdowns. They didn't even attempt to pass, over 400 yards on the ground. So they've been really gashing teams lately and putting up a lot of points on the board.
With that said, Valley Christian does not want to play second fiddle to this Salesian team. Again, it's noted that they have not beaten Salesian in their existence, 0-4 so far. But let's go over Valley Christian's record over their last 3-game winning streak. They beat St. Patrick on October 12th, 44-12. Then they beat Berrien Christian out of Walnut Creek, 53-14 on October 19th. And then last week against Pinole Valley out in Pinole, California, they won a nail-biter 22-21. So they obviously have a lot of momentum as well.
Yeah. 2 teams, a lot of momentum, 3-game winning streak, and it's gonna come down to tonight who can really get the stops on defense. And so far in the first half, it was Salesian, and Valley Christian did kind of shoot themselves in the foot with those 2 penalties on 3rd down, which made it 3rd and 15, and then 3rd and 20 on the second drive. They were able to get that run back by Vopati, but it's going to come down to defense here. As much as both these teams have had success running the ball, one of these teams they're going to get a stop or 2 that's really going to change the momentum of the game.
And as cliche as it sounds, defense does, in fact, win ball games. And this one should be a great one in the second half as we're about ready to get going here. That's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Friday Night Football will return in just a few moments, so stick with us for the start of the second half right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. All right, back out here at Chabot College in Hayward, California, as you're having a look here at senior night for Valley Christian High School as they are ready to run through the banner. You gotta love to see that if you're a high school football fan. Obviously, a lot of emotions that go out into senior night, and there are the seniors coming on the field, and you see the balloons, and again, senior night, a lot of emotion. How do those emotions kind of play into the last regular season game?
Well, it can be tough. You've put, your heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into, practice. And for some guys, 2 years. For some guys, even more than that, 3. And so it can be an emotional night for a lot of guys. But you really want to get that win, And so you kind of, flip a switch like any other game and not forget that it's senior night because you want to really cherish the moment. But just try to get, your focus back to do the basics and try to win this game.
Yeah, one of the seniors for Valley Christian is number 39. I don't know if our photographer Lee Craner can zoom in on 39 there on the sideline. He is a senior. He's been a senior leader for the squad, over 1,300 yards rushing on the season. Howard tonight, really impressive. He's been a bruiser for Valley Christian, not only tonight but for his whole career.
Yeah, he has. And Wickle has he's carried the rock a lot for Valley Christian, probably closing in on close to 140 carries already. We saw him with that big touchdown, the first possession, and only 5'6", $170, and he doesn't go down. He's a hard runner. He's got great vision, and just a fun back to watch.
Yeah, we mentioned the fact that he does take about 1 or 2 hits before going down, so he is definitely a bruiser. Along the lines of seniors, we talked about it before. Salesian, they had lost 22 seniors from last year's team. A lot of people predicted them to be about a 6-4 team. Here they are, 8-1. How have they done it? They don't have that senior class from last year that won the NCS championship.
They don't, but they have a great coaching staff. And when you have a great coaching staff, Chad Nightingale does a great job, and when you have a great staff, you can get those guys to kind of rally around the players, and the players believe that they can take it to a next level. And also, people predicting them to go 6-4, kind of probably made them a little bit mad. Like I said earlier, some bulletin board material for them, and with such a small school, they're able to get it done, which is really impressive. And
you mentioned they are a small school. Now, these 2 schools are among the 3 smallest schools in Division IV football. So Valley Christian has 285 in enrollment, while Salesian only has 484. So they, with the smaller schools, are playing with a lot of pride here for the Division IV standings and the league standings here. Both teams playing exceptionally well in the season as we get ready to start the second half. And I don't know about you, Alex, but for me, this time of the season in football is always great. You know, the weather starts to cool off a little bit. It gets darker a little bit earlier, and you can feel just the electricity from high school football teams gearing up, getting ready for playoffs.
Yeah, great time, and especially for these two teams right here. Like you said, they're second and third, respectively, Salesian and Valley Christian in Division 4. They are second and third in league. And so, you know, having a game like this at the end of the season that's so meaningful is pretty special. And it's been a great game so far between Valley Christian and Salesian.
And the top team in Division 4 is El Cerrito, in the same league as both these squads. So El Cerrito, the team to beat in this league. As the kick is recovered by Valley Christian, as a little squib kick is picked up there by Josh Gadara. And Gadara with a big-time play for Valley Christian. And just like that, Valley Christian kind of turns the momentum in their favor.
Yeah, wow, what a play coming out of the first half. Took kind of a funny bounce there, that squib kick, and Kadara able to come up with it, and that's what you need coming out of halftime. You know, you need to get a score right away, get your team back into it. That's what the Vikings did with great field position.
So that gives the Vikings the ball at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 with 11 minutes and 56 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Quarterback Vince Vapati with the handoff. That is a look at Howard Wickle. Wickle cutting back outside. He's got some room on the outside, and there he goes. Dragged down eventually here. Stays on his feet and does not go down, but is pushed out of bounds. So we mentioned before that Wickle can take a hit and stay on his feet, and perfect scenario there for him to pick up the first down.
Yeah, that run designed to go inside between the tackles, and nothing there, and Wickle able to bounce it outside. He's a small back, so behind those big linemen, I think the defense really has a problem kind of seeing him until he gets through the hole, and he's able to hide behind his lineman there and get to the outside.
All right, it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for Valley Christian. Quarterback Vince Vapati, 2 men in the backfield. Back to Wickle. Wickle cutting it back to the outside. It's got some room to daylight, and there he goes. Wickle for the touchdown, and Valley Christian back in this ball game. That's going to make it 27-20 Vikings.
Pretty much untouched on that play, Eric. And number 75, Greg Baker, one of those big offensive linemen for Valley Christian, out there in front, getting into the second level to spring Wickle.
And I'm glad you mentioned that offensive line again. We talked about him earlier before. This team averages about 225 yards on the front line there for their offensive unit. So having that size obviously helping Valley Christian out here. As place kicker Sam Marco puts the ball through the uprights, going to make it a 27-21 ball game as Valley Christian scores immediately here to start the second half. And let's talk about that momentum. First they get the onside kick, and then they get Wickle to do what he does, score touchdowns. And now, just before you know it, they've got the momentum back.
Yeah, 19 seconds into it, they got the ball and scored, and you couldn't have scripted it any better, Eric. That's really what they needed. We were talking about during the halftime show. They needed to get a score and to really get back into this game. They're down 6 now, able to get the onside kick and able to score behind Wickle. Just huge there for the momentum. The momentum has completely changed, and if you're Salesian, you kind of have to put that behind you already. You kind of have to, have a short memory here and just get back on offense and continue to run the ball well.
Yeah, let's see if kicker Sam Marco can put a little bit of that funk, as I like to call it, on this kick like he did in the last kick to give him the little onside return for Valley Christian here. As the kick is actually kicked off by quarterback Vince Vapati. So Vapati playing a little bit of everything as that ball is all the way down to the 2-yard line, and that's going to be brought back by a kick returner. Tyrone Morgan, and Morgan stopped at the 10-yard line. And again, we talked about momentum for Valley Christian, and that puts Salesian all the way back to the 10-yard line, not the field position I'm sure they wanted.
Yeah, Morgan had to pick it up there as the Vikings were bearing down, and great kick coverage there by the Vikings. Morgan not really able to do much with it, and so if the Vikings can continue with their momentum and get a stop here, that would be huge, Eric.
And just a side note for the Valley Christian Vikings, that touchdown by Wickle gives them 21 rushing touchdowns on the season. As Salesian takes over on the 10-yard line, 1st and 10. Quarterback Zach Boyett with a handoff. And that goes to Michael Page. If you're just joining us, Michael Page for Salesian with 3 touchdowns already for the Pride, and picks up about 5 yards there for Salesian.
Great first down play by the Pride, and I think it's safe to say they're going to stick with Page and Hernandez a lot here, up 6, and they're just going to try to continue to move the chains. And 5 yards on first down is great for this Pride team.
And on the flip side, you really have to buckle down here if you're Valley Christian's defense to try to stop this offensive running game from Salesian here. And on 2nd and 5, quarterback Boyett, the man in motion, left to right for Salesian. 2 men in the backfield. Boyett with the toss. This time it goes out to D'Angelo Hernandez. There is a flag on the play, however. And it is a false start against the Pride, so that's going to draw them back. So that momentum for Valley Christian kind of wearing there a little bit on Salesian here with 10 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, and this is a big play here, about 2nd down and 10 for the Pride. And they had 2nd down and 5, and, Valley Christian, like you said, the momentum kind of wearing on the Pride here.
All right, on 2nd and 10, Zach Boyett, the man in motion. Boyett with the hard count. Tosses again, this time a look at D'Angelo Hernandez. Hernandez cut it to the outside, and he is stopped short of the first down. Actually, he does pick up the first down, so Hernandez turning the feet and getting the first down there for Salesian.
Yeah, Hernandez showing his speed too, Eric, able to get to the outside and pick up 10 yards on that 2nd down run.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Salesian team. They have 2 speedsters in running backs, Michael Page and D'Angelo Hernandez. Take your pick if you're Valley Christian here. Obviously, it's going to be a huge challenge for the Vikings to try and slow them down on 1st and 10 from the 21 for Salesian. 2 men in the backfield for quarterback Zach Boyett. Man in motion from right to left as Boyett drops back. Has got a man open across the field, and the ball is dropped by Aaron Hayes. And Hayes smacking his hands together, knowing he probably should have grabbed that one. That would have presumably gave the Pride another first down. So Hayes a little disappointed in himself.
Yeah, and he had some room too. Maybe he was surprised that he had a good cushion there from the defenders. There might have been some miscommunication in the defensive backfield for the Vikings, but if Hayes caught that, he could have had a big gain on that play.
All right, it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 here for Salesian High School. Quarterback is Zach Boyett with 2 men in the backfield, 2 out to his right, and man in motion left to right. Boyett handing off to fullback A.J. Harris. Harris picks up 2 yards. And that'll bring up 3rd and about 8 for the Pride here. So Valley Christian trying to slow down this running game with whatever they can do here.
And I believe they hit that play earlier for a big gain in the first quarter, just trying to go back to it. But this time the Vikings all over it.
Yeah, the Vikings are becoming more aware of the offensive play calls here from Salesian. As we pick up the action here, 3rd and 8 with 9 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Quarterback Zach Boyett leading his team here. Drops back 3 steps. Got a man. Tosses to the outside. And he's got a man open, but is overthrown. And that was intended to Tyrone Morgan. Morgan, a speedster, but couldn't catch up with that one. Boyett, nonetheless, a good look there. Just past the reach of Morgan, however.
Yeah, I was looking there, and Morgan was singled up. They have so many guys in the box, the Vikings do, and Morgan able to get open, like you said, but ball was just overthrown a little bit for Morgan.
Give credit to Boyett for seeing that single coverage. No safety up to the top there. He saw that he had single coverage and threw a pretty good ball. Nonetheless, that's going to bring up 4th and 8. And the ball is snapped over the head of the punter there for Salesian. Somehow he manages to get it off, and that was a look at Manuel Herrera for the Pride. And somehow he punts that ball all the way to the 43-yard line. So what could have been complete disaster, Herrera for the Pride manages to give his team a little breathing room.
Yeah, how did he get that one off?
I don't know.
I saw a Viking player dive. I thought it was going to be blocked for sure, but great play there. Great heads-up play by the punter to get that out, and a pretty good kick, too. Got a little Pride roll, and even though it's still in Salesian territory, a lot better than what could have happened there.
Yeah, nonetheless, Valley Christian with some great field position here at the 43-yard line with 8 minutes and 46 seconds remaining to play in the third quarter here in Chabot College in Hayward, California. And quarterback Vince Volpati electing to hand the ball off, and that's a look at Howard Wickle. Wickle cutting back outside, and Wickle showing that extra burst of speed, picks up close to a first down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
Again, almost broke that. Took 2 guys to bring him down, and he was kind of mad at himself there as he knew if he broke that, he could have taken that one the distance.
Yeah, and Wickle really enjoying running through that left side there, through his guard and his center for Valley Christian. That is a look at Sean Scanlion for Valley Christian, as Wickle tends to run a lot behind that left guard.
Yeah, that offensive line doing a great job paving the way for both Wickle and A.J. Harris tonight.
As Valley Christian picks up the first down on the run there. And we do have an injured player on the field for Salesian. We'll try to get his number up here in the press box for you guys at home. Hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about our school broadcast program, Alex?
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. And the injured player for Salesian is, or rather, that is Valley Christian, getting up on his feet, and that is A.J. Harris, the big fullback, and hobbling on one leg. Not a good sign there for Valley Christian, as it looks like Harris probably isn't going to come back in this ballgame. So a big blow for Valley Christian.
Yeah, unable to put any weight on that left leg there. Looks like it could be his ankle might have got rolled up there.
Yeah, and you hate to see that with all the effort Harris has been putting into this ballgame. It certainly hurts this offense to see their big fullback go down in this one. And back on the field, it will be 1st and 10 for Valley Christian at the 33-yard line with 8 minutes and 2 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Quarterback Vince Volpati with 2 men in his backfield, including a look at Wickle, and Wickle gets the carry as he picks up 2 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 8 here for the Vikings. And the thing with Valley Christian, it's no secret that they're going to give the rock to Wickle play in and play out. The question is, how are you going to stop him?
Right, and they've done a fairly good job tonight. The Pride have, I mean, Wickle's busted some big ones, but right there was a great play. They just need to contain him, like Coach Nightingale said pregame.
All right, it's going to bring up 2nd and about 8 here for Valley Christian as they go back to Wickle. Wickle this time dragged down to the backfield by linebacker Tristan Castle for Salesian. So a big hit there, and it'll be no gain for Valley Christian. So like you said, Salesian's defense come into play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and we've seen one great ball from Volpati so far in this game. That one down the sideline that Carter was unable to hang on to. But if I were the Pride, just stack the box here. Stop them, make them try to throw it. And so I think this is going to be 4-down territory. This is going to be my best guess here. They have 2 plays for 9 yards here.
Okay, that brings up 3rd and 9 here for Valley Christian at the 31-yard line. As they go back to Wickle, staying on his feet somehow, getting to the outside, lowers the shoulders, and picks up a few yards before he's dragged down at the 28-yard line. So that'll be well short of the first down, bringing up 4th and 6 for Valley Christian.
Yeah, Wickle able to break arm tackles. Such a small guy. normally those bigger linemen can sometimes grab a hold of that jersey and hang on to him until the rest of the defense comes over and rallies to the ball. But the running back for Valley Christian able to do a nice job breaking 1 and 2 and even 3 tackles on a lot of runs tonight.
Yeah, Wickle has definitely gotten the brunt of the load here tonight for Valley Christian. Should be interesting to see if they go back to Wickle here on 4th and about 6 for the Vikings. Quarterback Vince Volpati in the shotgun set, looks to his right, he's got a man open, and the ball is overthrown to his intended receiver. That was Clayton Carter, so Volpati on 4th down, not able to convert, and that will give Salesian the ball here on the 28-yard line with 5 minutes and 41 seconds left to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, great job by Salesian there, getting them in a down and distance where, you can't really run the ball there. I mean, if you were closer in, you might, but right there, kind of a passing situation really on 4th and 6 and able to get a stop.
Yeah, that definitely out of the comfort zone for Valley Christian. Like you mentioned, 4th and 6 for a team that likes to run the ball as much as Valley Christian does. When you put them in that kind of situation, it definitely throws them off a little bit as Salesian takes over here on downs. Quarterback A.J. Boyd with one man in the backfield. As his fullback is in motion here, and that is a look at D'Angelo Hernandez cutting it outside, lowering his shoulder and picking up about 5 yards before he's dragged down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 5 for the Pride.
Another good first down run. We saw that on the last possession from the Pride. That was a first down run from Hernandez. They did get backed up the next play with a penalty. And so let's see if they can continue with this running game. They have 2 great running backs in Hernandez and Page.
Okay, that's going to be 2nd and 5 here with about 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. And Boyd hands off again, this time again to Williams. Williams staying on his feet, coming to the outside, and there he goes, picking up the first down and a pickup of 10 yards. So like you mentioned, this running game stout here for Salesian tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like that was, I think that was Hernandez again.
Oh, I'm sorry, D'Angelo Hernandez. You are correct.
And looks like they see something there on the left side. They keep trying to get their running back to the outside. And for the second straight play, that was a good chunk of yards there by Salesian and able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, the luxury of having speed in your tailbacks is that the fact that you can get the ball to the outside there when you want to. Definitely advantageous here tonight for Salesian High School. All right, it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line for Salesian. Play action pass from Boyd. Boyd with the screen pass, and no one there. His intended receiver looked to be Jacob Schaefer, the big tight end, and we do have a flag on the play, which might, in fact, be against Valley Christian. Let's see what the officials have to say here. And it is intentional grounding there on Salesian High School.
Ineligible,
excuse me, thank you. It is an eligible receiver downfield for Salesian High School.
Yeah, and so another penalty on a, it is only first down, but that backs them up. Oh, and they've declined the penalty, so they're...
Yeah, and Valley Christian does elect to decline that penalty, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for Salesian High School. A little bit surprised with that decline of the penalty?
Yes and no, sort of. That would have been first down. They would have backed them up, but it would have replayed the down. And so, they're just trying to get them. They really want to get the ball back here. So it's 2nd down and 10. Just give them one less down to try to convert that first down.
Yeah, very good point, Alex. Thank you. That's going to be up 2nd and 10 here. As quarterback A.J. Boyd gets things going here for the Pride. 2 men in the backfield for the Pride. Boyd drops back, and he's got a man open in the slant, and the ball is intended for a wideout, Tyrone Morgan, but off the fingertips of Morgan, and the ball a little bit low there for Morgan to grab, so that'll bring up 3rd and 10. So Valley Christian's defense, hey, they said, we are still in this ballgame. We are not giving up that easy, and coming up with some big stops here on this offensive possession for Salesian.
Yeah, that throw low and late from Boyette. He had him open earlier, and it looked like he kind of pump faked a little bit and brought it back, and I think that got his feet out of place there and just wasn't able to throw with a good base and threw it low kind of into the ground there.
Yeah, good point. You did see the hesitation in Boyette there, and that kind of hindered his throw a little bit. So we're going to have 3rd and 10 here for Salesian High School. Boyette drops back, got a man open to the side, but the ball is underthrown there. Again, his intended receiver, Tyrone Morgan. So the two players there, Morgan and Boyette, can't get on the same page in those last two plays for the Pride here. So that's going to bring up 4th and 10 and a big play defensively, a big possession, I should say, rather, defensively for Valley Christian.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Boyette and Morgan are really on the same page. It looks like Boyette's trying to throw a timing route there. He's taking a 3-step drop and throwing right away, not really kind of looking and looking at the last second. And Morgan just ran it maybe a little too deep, maybe ran it correct, maybe ran it how he was supposed to. You just don't really know. They're not really on the same page right now, Eric.
Yeah, and so here on 4th and 10, they'll try to get on the same page as the Pride elect to go for it. The crowd getting rowdy here for Valley Christian High School as Boyette rolls out to the right side. Nowhere to go, is chased by the defense. The defensive line there for Valley Christian, in the progression there from the big D line for Valley Christian makes Salesian turn the ball over on down. So you got to love see the defensive line of Valley Christian coming up big on that play, chasing down Boyette and making him throw that ball away.
Yeah, and that ineligible man downfield declining that penalty was huge there, as they only had 3 downs to try to convert, and a great stop from the Vikings, and they're really back in this game here. I mean, getting that touchdown right away with 19 seconds into the third quarter was huge.
Yeah, it is 27-21 here with 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Valley Christian taking over here on downs on the 45 or 46-yard line, and it goes back to Wickle. Wickle staying on his feet, and he picks up another 6 yards. So Wickle continuing to pick up yardage each and every carry he has. It's amazing to see that this kid, on every single possession, it seems like he picks up at least 4 yards. And I'm telling you, 4 yards will win you ball games.
Yeah, it really will. When you're looking at, second down and 6 and second down and 5, 4, it really makes the play calling that much easier on second and third down.
And so that'll bring up 2nd and 4 here for Valley Christian High School. Quarterback Vince Volpati trying to get his offense going here. Hands off again to Wickle. Wickle staying on his feet, hit once in the backfield, but manages to pick up close to first down.
Those arm tackles aren't going to get Wickle down. He was, like you said, hit in the backfield there. Not hit, but kind of grabbed at there, and Wickle's going to run through that every single time.
Yeah, that's the thing about Wickle. He is a great downhill runner, and you hear that term a lot in football, downhill running. What's that mean, Alex?
Well, and especially for a little guy like Wickle, it makes it that much harder to tackle him. He's just running with his shoulders over really his feet. He's not running straight up. He's running bent over and downhill, as they call it.
So on 3rd and 1 here, Wickle trying to run downhill again, and this time stuffed in the backfield by the defensive line of Salesian, and that was a big defensive tackle for Salesian. Didn't quite see who the player was, but nonetheless, the defensive line coming up big there for the Pride here. So that's going to be a 4th and 1 again here. So a big play here for Valley Christian.
Yeah, and then when a little guy's running with a lean, when he's running not bent over, but leaning forward, it's so much harder. You got to get down at his pad level, so it's so much harder to tackle him. You really have to start diving at his legs almost. I mean, he's been breaking all these tackles, so how do you, it's tough to stop a running back like that.
Yeah, so here on 4th and about half a yard, Valley Christian electing to go for it, and it's Volpati keeping it himself and picking up more than just the first down as he picks up about 4 yards on the quarterback keeper, and a great little play there from Valley Christian to pick up the first down.
Yeah, when it's 4th and a yard and a half or less, the quarterback sneak is really the go-to play in my opinion, and especially when you've been running the ball so well. The defense keen on Wickle there, and Volpati able to take it and get the first down.
So the drive continues here for Valley Christian in the third quarter with 1 minute and 50 seconds left to play here. As Vopati hands off again to Wickle. Wickle staying on his feet, refusing to go down as he stretches for a nice little 4-yard gain.
And this is kind of reminiscent of the first quarter when they really controlled the clock so much. They're starting to do that again with their running game, able to move the chains and keep the ball here late in the third quarter.
And that really seems to be Valley Christian's game plan, to kind of grind things out, just really pound the ball as much as they can. And you can see why it works for this team pretty well.
Yeah, you got a few defenders with their hands on their hips, and that's never a good sign for the defense.
Yeah, at this point, you would think that Salesian's defense is getting a little bit tired here with a minute left to play in the third quarter. Quarterback Vince Vopati hands off again to Wickle. Wickle is staying on his feet, refusing to go down. There he goes up the gut. Wickle again for another touchdown, and that will be his 22nd touchdown of the season as Wickle ties this ball game up with 55 seconds left to play in the third quarter. 27-27. So all that grinding out, running between the guards, running between the gut, call it whatever you want, has officially paid off for Valley Christian.
3 or 4 broken tackles there, Eric. Just amazing. Wickle continues to impress, and that run was pretty amazing there, keeping his feet churning, able to get in for the touchdown.
And with the touchdown, we do have an injured player on the ground here for Valley Christian. Or, excuse me, that is for Salesian High School. And as the trainers attend the injured player, let's talk about Wickle a little bit, Alex. That's his 22nd touchdown of the season. He's got 3 touchdowns tonight as well.
Yeah, and he's got to be closing in on almost definitely over 1,300 yards, close to 1,400.
1,400,
yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and like you said, 22nd touchdown of the season. Continues to break tackle. I mean, that's really been the key tonight for him. I mean, he's been able to get 4 yards of carry, which is huge for any running back. As an offense, you like to see that first down production, 4 yards, absolutely fantastic. But the tackles that he's broken tonight,
yeah, without question, it's been remarkable to see Wickle continue to really play well and break the tackles for Valley Christian. The injured player for Salesian was Jacob Schaefer as he gets off on his own will. Great to see as he heads off the sideline. So Valley Christian here on the extra point will try to take their first lead since the opening moments of this ball game back in the first quarter as kicker Sam Marco tries to give his team the lead. And the extra point is blocked by Salesian High School. And we talk time out again about how big extra points are, especially in the high school football game. And, boy, an opportunity missed there as the snap was mishandled there.
Yeah.
And this ball game remains tied 27-27 with 55 seconds left to play here in the third quarter at Chabot College in Hayward, California.
Yeah, that's huge. Salesian, they've given up these 2 touchdowns, but those 2 miscues on the PATs by the Vikings, they're tied now. They could have been down by just 1, which isn't a big deal, but Salesian's tied, and that snap was just a little bit high, and the Vikings unable to get that snap down in time, and Vopati had to try to run that one in, but was stopped well short.
Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, as daylight savings time comes up on us here on Sunday, and it is about to turn into the cold days of winter, high school football transform into such a beautiful thing. Both these teams coming into the game, we mentioned beforehand, it was going to be a grudge match as both teams are great teams. Salesian 8-1 entering the night as Valley Christian 7-2, yet to ever beat Salesian. And we said early in this one, Alex, that this is going to be a good game. And what do we have here, sir? A game tied up 27-27 with 55 seconds left in the third quarter. As Tyrone Morgan returns the ball here for Salesian High School, picks it up at the 15, stays on his feet, nowhere to go. As Valley Christian Special Teams brings him down at about the 22-yard line. There is a flag on the play here.
And it looks like they're going to bring that back, I think, either a block in the back or a hold on Salesian. We'll have to see what the refs signal here, but safe to say that it's coming back.
So we mentioned, If you guys are just joining us at home, Valley Christian came out in the second half down 2 scores. They scored immediately off of squib kick that they recovered, and then scored on the next 2 plays offensively, cutting the lead down 27-21, and then they just scored again 27-27. Back in the beginning of the second half, we talked about the momentum changing. Again, we really are seeing that momentum change here, which is becoming more advantageous for Valley Christian.
Yeah, it is, and they were able to really take hold and change this game when they recovered the squib onside kick and able to score right away. And we're seeing that momentum continue. If you're Salesian, you kind of have to forget about all that. The game's still tied. You can still win the game. You're not out of it by any means. The game is tied, so you just have to continue your offensive execution here.
A very good point as they elect to go to the ground here, and that's a look at Michael Page. Page picks up about 2 yards. It's going to make it 2nd and 8. And just a quick heads up, the head referee out here tonight for this game at Chabot College in Hayward, California, is actually injured. He hurt himself and is on the sideline, so the crew is down to 4 men, so that might come into play here in this ball game.
Another great first down play from Salesian, just continuing to run the ball and go at it little chunks at a time here.
All right, 1 man in the backfield for Salesian as the play-action pass from Zach Boyd opens up a man, and the ball is dropped again, this time by Michael Page, and Page just couldn't bring that ball in. But, boy, that's about 4 dropped passes tonight for Salesian High School. Definitely ones they wish they could have back.
Yeah, that time Boyette on the run, but able to get a nice pass off, and Page just not able to hang on to it.
Yeah, kind of looking upfield. With that said, Alex, do you have a Facebook page, Twitter account, YouTube?
Facebook and Twitter.
Wow, you are hip. You are hip, my friend. Tell us a little bit about the PlayOnSports.com Facebook and Twitter pages.
Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Thank you, sir. And with that said, what would your Facebook status be for this ball game tonight?
Probably 2 words: Wickle and Page.
I like it. It sounds like a law firm, doesn't it?
It does.
Wickle and Page here to serve you.
It's been a great game so far on the ground. That's what we expected from both teams, really from Valley Christian, but Salesian able to run the ball with Page coming back, 3 touchdowns in his first game back from injury.
And on a big 3rd and 6, Salesian trying to get things going. Zach Boyd drops back, 3-step drop, and the pass is incomplete. His intended receiver was Aaron Hayes. So, give credit to the Valley Christian defense. And we haven't really talked about the secondary, but, man, Zach Boyd really can't get anything going to his receivers tonight. Give credit to Valley Christian secondary.
Yeah, and one of those players in that secondary is Volpati. He's doing it all tonight. Now he's back to return this punt, Eric, and we've seen him. He's doing the kickoffs. He had to come in and play quarterback as the starting quarterback. The junior Taylor went down with a torn ligament in his left thumb. So he is doing it all tonight for the Vikings and looking to get that offense back on the field here.
Yes, Volpati, very Jim Thorpe-like. Again, one of those references that most of these high school kids probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
That one they might have no idea. Emmett Smith, they
might know, right?
They should.
There you go. So on 4th and 6, the Pride electing to punt. We do have stoppage on the field here.
They're trying to figure out something about the clock.
Apparently we're having issues with the game clock. But there is 11 minutes and 54 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Look like they just wanted to run it down a little bit, Eric.
Yeah, it looks like they ran the clock down from 11:57 to 11:54, so those 3 seconds might come into play. You never know. Nonetheless, the punt here. And the return man, Vince Velpati, for Valley Christian, as the ball bounces in the favor of Salesian all the way down to the 38-yard line. So we talked about momentum. Valley Christian definitely with the momentum here. If you're on the offensive side of the ball here, what are you trying to draw up if you're head coach John Perella for Valley Christian?
stay on the ground, eat up that clock, and try to get another score. And if you get another score, you really put pressure on Salesian. So, we've seen him in the first quarter and on that last drive able to really take up a lot of the game clock. And so that's what they should do here on this possession and really put the pressure on the Pride.
And, a lot of people don't really talk about it. Time management is such a big aspect of football. And boy, oh boy, Valley Christian really knows how to use the clock as Wickle stays on his feet, gets down the sideline. He is alone by himself, and there he goes, about to score again for the 4th time today. And there you go, Howard Wickle, your 4th touchdown of the game. And just like that, Valley Christian takes the lead with 11 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter. Howard Wickle, 4 touchdowns on the night.
Wow, and Wickle showing that speed again, and so much for, grinding the ball. If you can get that touchdown right away, you obviously go for it. And Wickle to the short side of the field, able to show that speed. He is quick, and so the pressure really now put on Salesian, Eric.
Yeah, without question. Again, let's go back to the momentum. Salesian led this thing by 2 scores going into the half, and before you know it, they have been outscored here in the second half, 22-0. As the extra point is good through the uprights there, giving Valley Christian the 34-27 lead with 11 and 32 seconds left to play here in the 4th quarter. So, we've been talking a lot about Wickle tonight, but how can we not? 4 touchdowns tonight, 23 now on the season.
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic, breaking tackles, great second effort, showing speed, running low pad level, just doing everything that a good running back, that a great running back does. Great vision. Nothing bad to say about Wickle at all tonight. He's done everything that you want your running back to do.
And clarify for me, Alex, when you mentioned a low pad level, what is that?
That's what we were talking about earlier, just running downhill. You want to keep your pad level low so you can, and that's how he's breaking those tackles. He's running through defenders, and you're not running high. So, when you run straight up, you're more vulnerable, and not only getting tackled, but getting hurt.
And the kickoff goes to the return man, Tyrone Morgan, for Salesian High School, as he brings the ball upfield to the 25, to the 30. Morgan on his feet. He's got some daylight. Oh, and dropped down by Velpati, and the ball comes loose, and it looks to be recovered by Valley Christian. But boy, Velpati, who not only plays quarterback, he plays punter, he plays kick returner, he plays punt returner, and now he's making big-time hits as it is Salesian with a huge gasp of air recovering the ball on the fumble. But did you see that hit by Velpati?
I did. He just, right down his legs, just flipped him right over. But I think they called him down there. So it wasn't a fumble, but Velpati just upended the return man there, Morgan. Lucky for Morgan, he was down before he fumbled the ball.
All right, it's going to be up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for the Pride here. Quarterback, Boyd trying to get something going here for his offensive unit. And Zach Boyd really has to get things going here if he wants to lead his team back to victory. Man in motion, right to left. And the ball goes to wideout D'Angelo Hernandez. Or that's running back, rather, D'Angelo Hernandez. Hernandez picks up 5 yards. So the Pride looks like they're going to stay with their game plan of running with their powerful tandem of running backs in D'Angelo Hernandez and Michael Page.
Yeah, it's been a common theme here in the 3rd and early 4th quarter, getting Page and Hernandez to the outside. A nice fly sweep there, able to pick up 5 yards on 1st down.
So that'll bring up 2nd and about 5 here with 10 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the ball game. One man in the backfield for the Pride. And the ball goes to Michael Page, and Page staying on his feet, picking up the 1st down, and again about 11 there for Michael Page. So, again, we're seeing the two-headed monster known as Page and Hernandez for Salesian. And, it looks like they are, it seems like teams tend to get a little nervous when it gets late in the ballgame and when the momentum shifts. But nonetheless, Salesian staying with their game plan as we do have an injured Viking on the ground here.
Yeah, Page doing a nice job dragging defenders as well, breaking tackles, and able to pick up that first down. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
And the injured player is Demario Blackwell for Valley Christian as he gets up on his own will and walks off. Looks like he is gingerly holding his left arm, which should be okay. So Salesian trying to answer back here, down 34-27, 22 unanswered points for Valley Christian. At this point, if you're head coach Chad Nightingale, what are you telling your team? Hey, we've given up 22 unanswered points, but don't give up, right?
Exactly, and they're not going to, they're not even going to think about that giving up. They are going to fight till the end here, and they've had a great season so far, and they want to finish on a good note, and they're going to continue to execute the game plan here.
Yeah, again, Salesian 8-1 on the season, 4-1 in league play. Valley Christian 7-2 and 3-2 in league play. So a battle of stalwarts out here at Chabot College. The pass from Chabot. Oh, past the and not being able to be grabbed in there from a wideout Jacob Schaefer for the Pride, but the ball there from Zach Boyd was a great pass nonetheless. And Boyd just can't catch a break tonight. He's not able to find his open receivers, and when he does, his receivers can't bring in the ball.
Yeah, just out of the reach of Schaefer, but a nice play call, a little what we call a pop pass. You have a couple guys running down the seam there, and Schaefer, tight end, wide open. Boyette just unable to get him the ball.
So now on 2nd and 10, Boyette with 2 men in the backfield, 2 receivers out. This time with the counter to D'Angelo Hernandez as he picks up a few yards. So that's a pretty stout backfield when you see Hernandez and Michael Page in the backfield for Salesian. Valley Christian not at all intimidated, however, bringing up 3rd and 7.
Crucial 3rd down and 7 here.
Yeah, with 9 minutes and 35 seconds left to play in this ball game, Salesian trying to get something going. Again, 22 unanswered points from Valley Christian to the home team as they trailed by 2 scores entering the half and have completely turned into a different team here in the second half. And Boyd drops back. He's got a man open to the side, and that's a look at Tyrone Morgan. Morgan gets to the sideline and is dragged out of bounds, but not before the nice gain of the big first down on 3rd down there for the Pride.
Yeah, Boyette, good job there. 3-step drop, and really this time made sure, looked over Morgan's way and really made sure that he had made his break and come back to the ball. They were on the same page on that one, and a nice completion for the first down.
Yeah, big first down there for the Pride as that brings up 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line here with 9 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. And they go back to the ground and back to D'Angelo. D'Angelo staying on his feet, refusing to go down, drags in and stretches for the big-time touchdown there as D'Angelo Hernandez makes this a 34-33 ball game.
And that's a great drive with the pressure on Salesian. Taking the ball down the field, and a huge completion there to Morgan before that Hernandez run, and they're a PAT away from tying this ball game.
And we mentioned before football IQ and talking to head coach Chad Nightingale for Salesian. He's got that football IQ, and they did not go away from the game plan. They stayed with it the whole time. They stayed with their 2-headed monster in their backfield with Hernandez and Page, and obviously it worked out for them there. As place kicker Diego Stern is... No, the kick is no good there from Stern, so that makes it a 34-33 ball game with 9 minutes and 3 seconds. And again, extra points absolutely humongous in high school football.
Yeah, absolutely huge. We saw 2 miscues from the Vikings earlier with PATs, and now in a crucial situation, only 9 minutes and 3 seconds left in this fourth quarter. The Pride, after scoring that touchdown, unable to tie the game. So really putting themselves in tough positions, getting scored on, letting the Vikings score 22 unanswered, and then going down and scoring, and then missing that PAT there. So the Pride are really going to have to get a stop here because the Viking offense is really rolling on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and I'm guessing if you're the Vikings offense, you are going to go back to the running game and really try to manage the clock, which they have done so well tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I thought the plan was for the last possession, but Wilkie, that one just broke that one. So if he has a chance, he's going to break another. Other than that, they're just going to continue to try to run down, tire out this Pride defense.
Yeah, Alex referring to running back Howard Wickle, who has 4 touchdowns on the day for Valley Christian tonight as the kickoff goes out of bounds as the flag comes out there. So Valley Christian will pick up the ball with some great field position here. With 9 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in this ball game, Valley Christian leading Salesian 34-33 at Chabot College in Hayward, California. Thank you for watching PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
And a quick mention, both teams do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so definitely crucial for both teams having all 3 timeouts remaining as Wickle stays on his feet, gets to the sideline again, and is not going down, cuts it back across field, and there he goes again. Can he do it again? 5 touchdowns on the day for Howard Wickle, a night certainly he will never forget, and just like that, boy oh boy, Wickle has impressed us all tonight.
Wow. So, again, second consecutive touchdown where it's the first play from scrimmage. Eric, we talked about them trying to run out the clock, but he was able to break one there, and he has been impressive tonight, showing that speed, not going down, cutting it back across the field there. 5 touchdowns for the senior, the 5'6", 170-pound senior, Howard Wickle.
And we mentioned that it is senior night here for Valley Christian. And for the senior, is it fitting that he has 5 touchdowns on this game?
I guess so.
How can you not get romantic about high school football? As the extra point gets through the uprights, and that will give Valley Christian the 41-33 lead with 8 minutes and 48 seconds. So that offensive possession took all of 13 seconds for Valley Christian. So the game plan of running out the clock with the running game hasn't quite worked for Valley Christian, but I'm sure they're okay with the result nonetheless.
Yeah, kind of got out the window, but hey, they'll take those 2 touchdowns on 2 consecutive possessions on the first play from scrimmage, and the pressure right back in the court of Salesian, and they're down by 8 now. That missed PAT is huge, and now they've given up a long touchdown, so they need to manufacture a drive like they had this last possession, Eric.
Yeah, again, going back to the fact at the very beginning of our pregame show here on PlayOnSports.com, we said this is going to be a battle. Both teams have great records. Salesian 8-1 coming into this game. Valley Christian 7-2. We are going to see a battle, and boy, oh boy, has it been a battle here at Chabot College. As the kickoff is intended for a returner that was Tyrone Morgan, but he elects to let that ball go back in the end zone. So the Pride will take over from their own 20 with 8 minutes and 48 seconds. But we are getting our money's worth tonight, Alex Richmond.
Yes, we are. Great regular season finale for both these teams. This game with playoff implications, like we've said. Salesian second in NCS Division IV football standings. Valley Christian third. Both on a 3-game win streak and both really, really playing hard tonight. And the Vikings kind of with the momentum here after scoring those 22 unanswered points and 2 touchdowns on their last 2 possessions.
And keep in mind, we mentioned before, Valley Christian has yet to ever beat the Pride here, so on the verge of possibly doing that. As the Pride takes over on 1st and 10, Boyette drops back, he's got his receiver, and that's a look at Aaron Hayes staying on his feet and picking up the first down. To talk about a big, big completion for quarterback Zach Boyette. Has had trouble finding his receivers tonight, and that's got to help the confidence.
Yeah, it does, and that's his second completion there on consecutive drives. The first one to Morgan, this one to Aaron Hayes, and Boyette doing a nice job dropping back, 3-step drop, and hitting those curl routes, and just giving the team a little bit more room to work with out to the 30 now.
Okay, let's bring up 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Pride here. Quarterback Zach Boyette getting his team ready as the handoff goes to Michael Page, and Page is stuck after a gain of 2. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Pride. Actually, that carry went to, it was Michael Page, excuse me.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, Eric.
So that'll bring up 2nd and about 7 here for Salesian, with 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in this ballgame, trailing 41-33. And Boyette looking at his receivers here. Drops back. He's got a man open to the side, but again, just some miscommunication out there with his intended receiver, Aaron Hayes. That ball to the sideline. Hayes kind of looking to the inside. It looks like they can't get on the same page tonight.
Yeah, and that time, they had a 3-receiver set, and the defense doing a great job there. Safeties rolled up on both sides, so there was really nothing open there. And I think it wasn't beneficial that he was, kind of threw it away there, but a better throw might have been tipped or picked off.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 7 here with 7 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in this ballgame. And the ball goes back to Michael Page. Page staying on his feet before being dragged down, but a big defensive play there from Valley Christian's defensive line, and a big linebacker, Jonathan Roca. So Roca making the big stop. That's going to bring up 4th and 5.
Yeah, a misdirection play. They're trying to get the defense flowing one way and running the ball back to the near side of the field, and the Vikings just all over that play.
There's 7 minutes remaining in this ballgame. And that'll bring up 4th and 5 here. Zach Boyette with 2 men in the backfield. 2 wideouts to the side. Boyette drops back. Nowhere to go. Tosses a little screen out to D'Angelo. D'Angelo dragged down there for a loss in the big-time play from a cornerback. Isaiah Harris making the big stop for a loss. So that was absolutely humongous on Valley Christian's defensive side of the ball. We've been talking a lot about their offense, but let's give credit to the defense here, showcasing what they needed to do to get that stop there.
Yeah, great point, Eric. And also for Salesian, when you get in those sort of downs where you really have to pass, Boyette hasn't been on the same page as his receivers like we've talked about, and so you really just have to set up screens. That's really all you have, and that was snuffed out nicely there by the Viking defense.
All right, so the turnover on downs gives Valley Christian some great field position as they continue to try to build on this lead, up 41-33 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. And we do have a stoppage in play again as the officials try to fix the clock here. And so, yeah, the Vikings will take over here on the 34-yard line. The quarterback Vince Vilpati handing off again, and that's again another look to Wickle. And one of the rare times tonight where he is brought down in the backfield. We do have a flag on the field, and I don't know if Salesian is going to like to see this.
Yeah, that might be on Schaefer. I think he retaliated. I think Hunter Schaefer was out there and
it is a personal foul there on Salesian.
Yeah, I think that was Jacob Schaefer.
And you saw Schaefer making the stop. It looked like he was just overly a little excited, maybe a little trash talking at this point.
I think he may have gotten pushed and didn't like that, and so it's always the second guy, always the guy who retaliates to be caught, and that was the case there, Eric. So a penalty there that is not going to help Salesian, only benefit the Vikings here as they try to get inside the red zone. And they're right on the 20-yard line, so trying to score again.
Yeah, if you're Salesian, definitely something you do not want to see there as they continue to kind of shoot themselves in the foot with penalties here as the Vikings take over on the 20-yard line. First and 10 with 6 minutes and 24 seconds left to play. Wickle again with the carry. This time again brought down in the backfield. The Pride kind of sniffing out the fact that Wickle was probably going to get the ball here nonetheless.
Yeah, Wickle didn't go down, but a great job by that Pride defense swarming to the ball for no gain.
So the Pride trying to keep their hopes alive here as it's a big possession for their defensive unit to make a stop with 5 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in this ballgame. And if you guys are just joining us, keep in mind it was 27-14 at the half as the Pride led Valley Christian. And now you fast forward here about an hour, and Valley Christian's leading this thing 41-33. We've seen a little bit of all tonight. Potty dropping back and is absolutely rocked in the backfield. And a big-time hit there from Salesian's Jacob Schaefer. And Schaefer, a little chippy. Better watch what he's saying out there.
Yeah.
Don't want to see another personal foul there if you're Schaefer.
And the ref following Schaefer back to his defensive position, telling him to knock it off. Big hit from Schaefer, but he better cut that out or else he's going to get flagged again.
Yeah, again, a lot of emotions out in this game here. Its playoff implications are huge. And, again, Valley Christian yet to ever beat Salesian High School in their existence, 0-4. And Salesian, 22 straight wins. I'm sure they don't want to lose that winning streak here. 3rd and 11, quarterback Volpati hands off to Wickle. Wickle stopped after about a gain of 2, so that's going to bring up 4th and 10 here for Valley Christian. So give credit to Salesian's defense here for coming up with the stop when they really needed it.
Yeah, especially after getting that penalty, that personal foul, able to stop the Vikings, like you just said. So that brings up a 4th down and 10, and the Vikings are just going to let the clock continue to run now. Salesian with all 3 of their timeouts.
Yeah, great point. Both these teams with all 3 of their timeouts. Of course, timeouts so crucial here in the 4th quarter with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left to play. So the big 4th down play here for Valley Christian. It is 4th and 10. Quarterback Vince Volpati in the shotgun set this time. And we do have a flag on the field.
And look at that formation, Eric, with Blackwell snapping the ball there to Volpati. Kind of unorthodox, the whole line to the left side. And looks like they're going to get pushed back here So it's going to be a 4th down and 15 now. Let's see if they'll go back to that same formation.
Yeah, so driving back another 5 yards is never a good thing if you're Valley Christian. That's going to bring up, like you said, 4th and 15.
And it looks like a little confusion there on the field. Blackwell talking to the official. And now Volpati counting the players on the field. And so a little bit of confusion here. And Volpati continuing to count, and I'm not sure what's going on there, Eric, but it looks like they figured it all out here, and they'll go back to that same formation.
Yeah, it looks like they eventually did figure it out, and it will be Volpati this time. Like you said, weird formation here. The line all the way to the left side. Volpati running the ball, and why not? He's going to keep it in on 4th and long. Volpati a pummel there, so really can't punt, I guess. So you don't see that every day. Volpati just running the ball out, and it will be a big turnover on downs there for Salesian. So that'll give him the ball at the 22-yard line with 4 minutes and 31 seconds left to play.
And for Salesian, they start on their own 22-yard line, and this is it for them pretty much right here. I mean, they have all their timeouts. They need to put together a drive that can continue to pick up first downs and hopefully result in a touchdown here with only 4 minutes and 31 seconds left, Eric.
And you got a feeling that it's all going to come down to the decision-making of quarterback Zach Boyd. Hasn't had any real communication with his receivers tonight. Let's see if they can get something going here. Quarterback Boyd electing to hand the ball off this time. And that is a look at D'Angelo Hernandez as Hernandez picks up about 4 yards. So that's going to bring it up to about 2nd and 6 here for the Pride.
Yeah, clock continues to run and coming up on 4 minutes. And I like to see that from the Pride. You can't abandon your running game right away just because you're down and you have, about 70 yards to go. You just got to stick with your running game, and until you really have to throw it, just keep running the ball.
Okay, now 2nd and 7 here for Salesian High School. And they go back to the run and back to Hernandez, staying on his feet, but is dragged down after a gain of 2, so that'll bring up about 3rd and 4.5 for Salesian High School.
And this is a tricky play call here, 3rd down, and a long 4, like you said. And we'll see what Coach Nightingale has called here, what he's drawn up. Does he want to make this a 2 downs to try to pick up 4 yards, or is he going to try to throw here? We'll have to see.
Again, 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in this ball game. Salesian trailing 41-33. Quarterback Zach Boyd trying to get something going with the play action pass. He's got a man open down the sideline, tosses it to the right side, and the ball is intercepted there by the defensive back for Valley Christian. That is Vince Volpati, the quarterback, the kicker, the punter, the defensive back who gets the crucial interception with 3 minutes left in the game. Can this kid not do it all?
Well, he's showing us tonight he can, Eric, and kind of scratching my head a little bit after that play call. Now you're banking on getting a stop from your defense and then putting a drive together, and right there would have been 2 plays for 3 yards. That's what I thought, but the Pride had a different game plan there, and nice play by Volpati, doing it all night, like you said.
Yeah, that interception, not an easy grab for Volpati, but again, before becoming a quarterback here for Valley Christian, he was a wide receiver, so you kind of see the fact that he does have those nice set of hands, especially with that interception there.
Yeah.
And as Valley Christian does take their first time out of the ballgame with 3 minutes and 4 seconds left to play here at Chabot College in Hayward, California. So Salesian down, but not completely out.
No.
They do have all 3 timeouts remaining with 3 minutes left in this ballgame, so they're going to need a big defensive stop here. Yeah,
they just need to stop Wickle, and that's what the Valley Christian Vikings are talking about right now. He's just making sure that they know that they're just going to continue to run the ball here and to make sure they hang on to the ball. We haven't seen any fumbles by these running backs of the Vikings. And so he's just kind of emphasizing that right now, making sure they know what they need to do to try to secure this win. But Salesian, by any means, not out of it at all with 3 timeouts and very capable of stopping this Viking offense.
Again, if you're just joining us at home, Valley Christian has gone to score 27 unanswered points in this ballgame after trailing 27-14 at the half. Senior leader running back Howard Wickle has scored 5 touchdowns here on fittingly senior night here for Valley Christian, as the run will be for a loss, and that'll drop it back to about 2nd and 13 here with 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Certainly at this point, Valley Christian's game plan is to probably keep the ball on the ground and let that clock run down as much as they can.
Yeah, and a nice stop on 1st down, a loss of a few yards. But that clock continues to run. The Pride saving their timeouts, hoping to get the ball back on offense.
All right, Valley Christian lines up here, 2nd and 13. Howard Wickle with the carry. He bounces back to the outside, and this is where he's so dangerous, folks, keeping his head down and picking up close to the 1st down. But you see that movement. You see the agility in Wickle. When he cuts across the field like that, you get ready for that oh boy moment.
Yeah, he almost broke another one, and he's going to be just short. So that's going to bring up 3rd down, and the clock continues to run.
And again, Salesian does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining here with 1 minute and 54 seconds remaining here. It's going to bring up 3rd and less than a yard for Valley Christian, so big play here for Salesian's defense, trailing 41-33 with 1 minute and 43 seconds left to play in this big game. All right, quarterback Vilpati with 2 men in the backfield. They go back to Wickle. Wickle staying on his feet and is dragged down there by the defense of Salesian. So when the defense had to come up big for the Pride, they came out with the force as Wickle is tackled for a loss of about 3, and that'll bring up about 4th and 3 for Valley Christian as Salesian takes their first timeout. Again, I want to keep that in mind to you guys out there. It is only their first timeout. They do have 2 remaining here in this ball game with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play.
Yeah, I was waiting for Coach Nightingale to call that timeout, and I thought it might come on 3rd down if they had stopped. If it was about 3rd and 5 or longer, but they got so close to the first down, I think he wanted to see if they could stop them or not. But if they hadn't, the time would. They wouldn't have a lot of time, but they're able to get a loss there, tackle Wickle for a loss. And so a huge 4th down, the play of the game here, you could say, Eric, and with 1:30 left. So Salesian looking to get a stop here and looking to get back on offense.
So Salesian's defense trying to keep this 22-game winning streak alive here. 4th and 3 yards with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play. Valley Christian quarterback Vince Vilpati leading his team here. 2 men in the backfield with the hard count. Vilpati trying to draw that defense off sides. They're not moving. And boy, you see Vilpati just yelling, trying to get that defense off sides, and it doesn't work as John Perella and his team take the timeout, but you got to applaud the fact that Perella had the sense to try to draw that defense off sides there, and Vilpati giving his best effort with that hard count and trying to get those guys off sides, but give credit to the Pride for not jumping off there.
Yeah, exactly. Give him credit for not jumping off, and that's a good call by Coach John Perella, just not going for it there. I mean, you don't need to go for it. This isn't a situation where you have to go for it. You can kick the ball away and put the Pride deep in their own territory and make them go, 75-plus yards in 1 minute and 30. And so that's a great play call, and I'm assuming here we'll see them kick it away. This is not a situation you don't really need to. We've seen not a situation where you have to go, and we've seen the Pride, score from around here. They can hit. They have some home run hitters in Hernandez and Page. So the smart thing to do here would be kick it away, in my opinion, Eric.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it looks like they do have their punter in the backfield who coincidentally happens to be their quarterback, Vince Vilpati, but we've mentioned before tonight that this kid pretty much does everything for Valley Christian. So the man deep for the Pride is a wide receiver, Joanne Harrison. Harrison lets the ball roll back, and the ball runs all the way back to the 1, and he decides to pick it up and is dragged down, but stays on his feet and manages to get the sideline before being pushed out of bounds at the 13-yard line. So it looks like Salesian is going to have to go 87 yards with 1 minute and 17 seconds left, trailing 41-33. Keep in mind the Pride do have 2 remaining timeouts here.
Right, and might have been better for him to just let that one go into the end zone there, but he's got 7. He would have had 7 more yards. He would have kept a little bit of time on the clock. So I don't think that's the best decision from Harrison, but he wanted to try to take it out.
Yeah, a little uncertainty from Harrison, but I think he was just trying to be a little safe and making sure that ball wasn't down there or picked up there by Valley Christian. All right, it's going to be a 1st and 10 here for Salesian, and the toss is out to Michael Page. Page staying on his feet, bouncing to the outside, and picks up a good chunk of yards, about 6 yards. But at this point in the ballgame, you would think 6 yards isn't going to get it done with 1 minute and 8 seconds left to play.
No, and they got to burn another timeout here.
As head coach Chad Nightingale for Salesian comes out to the field to talk with his squad. What are you saying to him if you're Nightingale down there in the huddle?
At this point, obviously, they need to throw the ball now. Really, I mean, you can try to convert this first down. You have only 1 timeout left, Eric, and so at this point, you've really put yourself in a position and where you have to throw the ball, and they haven't had a lot of success tonight. We've seen a few nice balls from Boyette, but you just need to talk to your team and let them know that they could have run it here, but you have only 1 timeout. The clock will stop when the chains move if they get the first down. But in my opinion, they really got to start throwing, those hitches and maybe a few screen plays. We've seen them that's so successful with Page.
Yeah, you mentioned Michael Page for Salesian High School. Had 3 touchdowns in the first half. Has been pretty much quiet this whole second half.
Yeah.
And one of those big touchdowns came on a screen pass. I wouldn't be surprised to see that here. All right, here we go. 2nd and 4, minute 8 seconds left to play here in this ball game. Quarterback is Zach Boyett under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Boyett drops back and tosses that little screen pass to Michael Page. And there's a look at the speed. Page getting to the outside and tripped up before he goes out of bounds, I believe.
The clock will stop momentarily as they reset the chains, but that's a great play call. A little swing pass to Page as the Pride get to play in from the sideline.
And he was stopped prior to going out of bounds, so quarterback Boyett spikes the ball, and that will stop the clock at 59 seconds left here in Hayward, California, Chabot College.
They saved that timeout, but they lost it down there, killing the clock. You really want to try to get out of bounds on these pass plays, but Page unable to do so on that last one.
All right, so we have 2nd and 9 here for Salesian High School, 1-man in motion. As Boyett hands off again, this goes to Michael Page. Page staying on his feet, stumbling in, and picks up about 6 yards. So, you're starting to gamble a little bit when you keep to the ground and you keep running up the gut here with 49 seconds left to play. As it looks like Salesian will, in fact, use their last timeout of the game.
Yeah, big 3rd down and short. Looks like about a long 2. And Salesian needing this 3rd down. And it's 2-down territory here, but the clock's going to continue to run, Eric, if you don't pick up this 1st down. And so this play call, it's really big. I mean, it's obviously 2-down territory, but you can't kill the ball on 3rd down if you don't, and this is, on 4th down if you don't make, if you don't make this 3rd down. This is just a big play call here from Salesian.
Yeah, for Salesian, it's really a double-edged sword at this point.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, they're most effective when they run in between the tackles. But when there's 49 seconds left in the game, can you run in between the tackles? Like you said, to pick up that 1st down. Should be interesting to see what the play call is here from head coach Chad Nightingale from the sideline. All right, here we go. 49 seconds remaining in this ball game. Salesian trailing 41-33. 3rd and 4. Quarterback Zach Boyett electing to go with the play-action pass. Boyd's got some time, has a man open, but is overthrown and can't complete the pass to his intended receiver, and that was Trevor Thomas for Salesian High School. So, again, we saw that little rollout pass. Boyd had time, had a man open, but couldn't get the completion.
Yeah, he's just kind of rushing everything there, Eric. And, Thomas was open, and he was open.
Yeah,
but there's no continuity. They're not on the same page, and he just kind of rushed everything there and overshot him.
Yeah, without question, Thomas was open, but Boyett couldn't complete the ball there to Thomas. So here it is, pretty much the ball game. If Salesian can't convert 4th and 3, 43 seconds left. Boyett with 1 man in the backfield, 2 out to the side. Boyett with some time and decides to hurl to the sideline, and he's got a man down, but it is off the fingertips and picked off from Valley Christian's secondary, and that is a look at, I believe, Josh Kadara. Josh Kadara with the interception, cementing the deal for Valley Christian with 33 seconds left to play. 41-33, Valley Christian leads this game, and you guys can hear the crowd, I'm sure, at Helm. And keep in mind, this is the first time in school history that Valley Christian will, in fact, beat their nemesis. They will beat Salesian for the first time in school history tonight, 41-33, as quarterback Vince Filipati needs the ball. And, getting a little chippy out there from the players. You don't want to see that, guys. But, again, obviously, both these teams very, very emotional as Filipati kneels the ball.
Yeah, and that's the second big play from Kadara. He had the the recovery on the pooch kick to start the third quarter and gets an interception there. And like you just said, getting a little bit chippy. Tristan Castle had to be.
Yeah, we've seen Castle make a lot of big plays in the backfield. Obviously, he's fired up. He's emotional because his team is going to lose this game. So you love to see the emotion out of the player, but you don't need to go that far.
Extracurricular, yeah, you don't need that.
And I'm sure that head coach Chad Nightingale is letting him know that on the sideline right now. Definitely a life lesson there. Again, how big of a win is this for Valley Christian? Obviously huge. For the first time in school history, they will beat the Salesian of Pride. And with that, they will improve with this win here tonight to 8-2 to finish the regular season, 4-2 in league play, while Salesian will also drop to 8-2 and 4-2 in league play. Should make the playoff scenario very interesting. Of course, we won't find out who's playing who for a day or so here.
Yeah, but what a win tonight, and what a performance by number 39.
Yeah, you're referring to Howard Wickle. 5 touchdowns tonight, and we do a great thing about PlayOn Sports is that we do get a chance to speak with the player of the game, and Howard Wickle.
Yeah, safe to say,
our player of the game. So make sure to stay tuned and watch our interview here with Howard Wickle right after the game. So as we come to a close here, 27 unanswered points for Valley Christian as they slay their mighty Giants, and Salesian, again, never beating them in school history, and arguably probably one of the biggest wins for Valley Christian here as a program. And we do have stoppage on the play here for some apparent reason. Obviously, the game is over, so I don't know what the officials could be speaking about. Going back to Howard Wickle, how about this? On senior night, keep in mind the senior leader, 370 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. If I could play high school fantasy football, I'd pick up Wickle on my waivers right now. What a game for Wickle.
Yeah, that's normally what you get from team production, but that's one player tonight, 370 yards.
Definitely a game Wickle will not forget, a game that this Valley Christian team will never forget. As Salesian made it close, but that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We invite you, please stay tuned to PlayOnSports.com for our post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action in our post-game show, and we'll have an interview with Howard Wickle, the player of the game. That's coming up in just a few seconds here. Once again, your final score out here, Valley Christian winning big, 41-33 over Salesian High School on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
to PlayOnSports.com. Here we are at Chabot College in Hayward, California, where Valley Christian just beat Salesian High School 41-33 in what was just the battle of the ages. I'm joined by our player of the game, Howard Wickle. Howard, first and foremost, congratulations on finally beating the Pride. Obviously, this is the first time they have beaten Pride in 4 attempts in school history, so the first time you guys beat them, what's the emotion like right now?
I mean, I honestly felt like crying on the field because after 4 years of losing to these guys, like, we wanted this game so bad. Like, we were so fired up and so emotionally ready to beat these guys, and I think that's a big part of why we won this game tonight.
Yeah, and Howard, of course, our player of the game, and Howard mentioned that they had lost 4 straight years. Howard, coincidentally, is a senior. Coincidentally, it gets better. It is senior night here, and what's he do for an encore? 370 yards, 5 touchdowns. Explain that to me.
I don't know. I mean, my line was making huge holes. A lot of the touchdowns, I just had to run, and I just tried to sprint through there as fast as I can. I tried to play for my teammates, and, I mean, they did a great job. That offensive line all year has been a big part of my success and our team's success, and, you know, I just got to give it to them.
When it comes to performances like this for you, when you think back to the beginning of the season, to 2 days in the summer, to never beating this team, and for you to show up the way you did today, what's that mean to you?
Well, I mean, our coach always tells us you don't cry at the end of the year because of, you know, you win a game, you lose a game. You cry because of all the work you put in, you know, in the summer, in the off season, lifting weights, running sprints forever. You know, so it feels great. I mean, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, you can see the emotion here in Howard's face. With the win, you guys have won 4 straight, and talk about momentum gaining here as you guys go into the playoffs. Not sure who you're going to play yet, but you guys are 8-2 in the season. Talk about the momentum heading into the playoffs now after beating Salesian and for the first time in 4 tries and having this 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, well, we had a little rough streak there in the middle of the season, and I'm really glad we were able to recover from that. We really regrouped as a team and came together, and just to be on this 4-game win streak and come and win tonight, that momentum is going to really carry us in the playoffs, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you guys should be the team to beat here in the playoffs in Division 4. How are you still standing?
I don't know. My legs hurt pretty bad. I'm not going to lie.
Go ice that stuff down. 370 yards, 5 touchdowns for Howard tonight, as he's our PlayOn Sports deservingly player of the game. Howard, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up. Stick around.
All right.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Hey guys, welcome back to PlayOnSports.com. You're joining us here at Chabot College in Hayward, California, where we just witnessed Valley Christian score 27 unanswered points against their nemesis, the Pride. And boy, oh boy, you talk about a game of 2 different halves. Valley Christian trailed at the half and came in to score 27 unanswered points. And talk about the emotion and everything you saw here tonight, Alex.
Yeah, a lot of emotion, senior night. And, you know, going into halftime, Valley Christian, they really needed to get something going. They were down 2 scores, like we talked about, and coming in that third quarter, the pooch kick, they were able to get the ball and score, you know, in 2 plays, and that was huge. And then 2 possessions in a row in the fourth quarter, they were able to score on a long touchdown run, and so on both possessions, and that was just huge tonight. Their defense getting stops, and that's what we said too. These teams are going to score, but the defense is going to, you know, get a few stops, and that's going to be the team that wins.
Yeah. Again, let's go back to Howard Wickle's performance tonight, as he's still here. Lee, can we see Howard back there? Howard, great game. 5 touchdowns tonight, 370 yards. Have you seen a performance like this, even at the high school level?
No, this is. I've covered a number of high school games this year. This is definitely the best performance that I've seen. out of a running back, 370 yards like we talked about. That's normally you get production from a team. A whole running game is 370 yards. But tonight, Howard Wickle, 370 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's a huge performance out of the young man.
And with those 5 touchdowns, he gets puts him at 24 on the season. Again, we referred that to Emmitt Smith numbers. Do you know who Emmitt Smith is? Okay, he's in high school, so that doesn't date me back too far. So a great performance from Valley Christian as they improve to 8-2. The Pride drops to 8-2. Both teams, you got a feeling that they might meet in the playoffs again. If you're Salesian, how do you kind of bounce back from this loss? Keep in mind they had 22 straight wins coming into this game before losing tonight.
Yeah, and losing for the first time in 4, this being their 5th, 4 tries, and coming back tonight, or coming back from this loss, it's tough. And we were talking to the coach before, and he said, we don't really put more emphasis on this game, but they're going to have to put more emphasis on these next games that will be playoff games. But I think they could bounce back pretty good. They have two great running backs, and they just need to, shore up a few things. Their passing game, their defense, but I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, so for Alex Richmond, the rest of my team, and photographer Lee Craner, producer Sonny Bapirai, and, of course, Howard. Great game. That does it for us here on PlayOnSports.com. Again, you can catch all these highlights on our website, so please check them out for PlayOnSports.com. I am Eric Hodge and Alex Richmond. Everyone out there, have a great night.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.